Chapter 981. Li Longji didn't care about who would be the county magistrate. When Xiao Bei suggested it, he immediately agreed. Thus, Cat became the county magistrate of a county that he didn't belong to yet. Cat was very excited. A county magistrate was such a high position. He didn't expect to be a county magistrate one day. However, just as he was happy, he became worried again. Your Majesty, I haven't been an official before. How can I be a county magistrate? I have to know what to do. It's simple. I'll find someone to teach you. I was a county magistrate before. Xiao Bei said from the side to reassure Cat. Only then did Cat feel relieved. He happily turned around and told the 7 people who were still squatting on the ground. The 7 people cheered. After confirming that there wouldn't be any danger, Cat and the others were treated much better. They didn't need to be guarded against as if they were thieves. The things they brought could be considered as gifts for Li Longji. There were roe deer, and the wooden basin was filled with fish. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were surprised that there were fish. Didn't they say that the fish would appear later? There were fish originally, but they disappeared after a few eruptions. The terrain now is different from ours. I don't know if we can still find hot springs. Even if we can't, the location will be different. Zhang Xiaobao whispered to Wang Wan. Wang Wan nodded gently. I think so too. Why? Do you plan to develop tourism here? Not now. There isn't even a decent road. Who would travel here? Let's wait for the future. When more people have money and are willing to travel, we'll let a few businessmen compete to develop tourism resources. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the beautiful scenery around him and seemed very helpless. He wanted to build a road, but no one would come. Just the annual maintenance cost alone wasn't a small amount. Are you planning to give it away and not develop it yourself? Wang Wan asked. Development. I am also one of the businessmen. There are some things that can be monopolized, and some things that cannot be monopolized. Without competition, the pressure on the businessmen will be reduced. When the time comes, it will be easy for the businessmen to not want to make progress. Let's go and try the fish in the heavenly lake first. It is not easy to catch fish with shaved ice. Zhang Xiaobao looked at the fish that were still alive in the basin and gulped. He really didn't know what the fish in the heavenly lake tasted like. The others were also curious. There were fish on such a high mountain. If word got out, most people would not believe it. If it was sold in the capital, there would probably be people who would rush to buy it. Xiao Bei began to discuss with the other 8 people about bringing the fish back and raising them in glass jars. They said that they would put them in their precious candy house to attract children. Li Longji said that he wanted to eat with Cat, so he really ate with Cat. The dishes were prepared by Zhang Xiaobao. Of course, not everyone could eat it. If it was soup, there might be enough soup. During the meal, Cat introduced himself. His surname was Li. Because the emperor of Tang Dynasty was surnamed Li, many people in Xinlua were proud to have the surname Li. They were called Li Mao because he was agile, so others just called him Cat. Cat said that many people in Xinlua were having a hard time. Those who were close to the water had to fish for a living, so that their family would not starve to death. Those who were close to the mountain had to make a living on the mountain. He was closer to the mountain. After walking for more than half a month, he reached the mountain. Then he would hunt some prey and spend more than half a month to go back. He would eat the meat at home and sell the fur to the people of Tang Dynasty. He would then buy food from Tang Dynasty. After all, the closest place was only a river. It was very easy to come over. Furthermore, Tang Dynasty did not stop them, saying that they were not allowed to come over. There were also people from Xinlua who ran directly to Tang Dynasty and worked for very little wages. Women who were slightly more beautiful also went to Tang Dynasty to sing and dance for people. If they were fancied, they would immediately go to rest with people. When it was over, they would not ask for money but for food. Cat said that in a village next to him, there were 3 families of women who often went to Tang Dynasty to do work. Each time they could bring back about 50 kilograms of rice. They would go back with it on their heads. Any more, and they would not be able to do it. It was too heavy. Furthermore, it was easy for the people of Xinlua to find out and take them away. They usually came at night and went back at night. There was still work to be done at home. Li Longji listened and could not bear it. From time to time he would look at Zhang Xiaobao, meaning to say, "Look at how you are tormenting people." Zhang Xiaobao was very innocent and mumbled, "What has it got to do with me? I use food to restrict them. That was a strategic goal, but I did not give them food. It was their aristocrats who sold the food. Who is to blame? The officials are the ones who rule, so the people can live. Corrupt officials are the ones who scam people the most. We have to catch more in the future." Xiao Yuan was also very emotional. After the meal, Kat and the rest were going back to recruit people to spread the news of the establishment of a new county. More people would know and take the initiative to come over. When the time came, the new county would be very big. Zhang Xiaobao and the rest went to the side of the Heaven Lake to take a look. He really did find a hot spring. It was a hot spring that the guards here usually used to bathe. Hence, Zhang Xiaobao gave a new order to the guards. He asked them to look for more hot springs and remember the location. In the future, this place would be valuable. Li Longji also made a reservation in advance. He said that he would leave 2 or 3 good soup for him when he came over in the future. As such, everyone stayed on the mountain for a day. They immediately went back the way they came because they could not continue to go against the flow of the Yellow River. They had to change to a land route. Li Longji did not want to be not in the capital during the new year. How could he celebrate with the people? The speed of returning was faster than when they came. It was downhill, so they just had to control the skis well. In less than a day, everyone returned to the ship. They sat on the ship and went straight to Hunan province. The people waiting in Jili province also set off at the same time. They would gather in Hunan province. The generals were already rubbing their hands together. There should be no other things to do this time, right? It was time to hold the military examination. At night, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan stayed in the cabin to discuss things after teaching their younger siblings. Zhang Xiaobao used this period of time to carefully understand the information of each general. He provided them with food and drink, analyzed their personalities. When they were still on the ship, he let them compete. Their fighting styles were also exposed. Now, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were summarizing and thinking about how to deal with the generals. "Where do you plan to compete?" Zhang Xiaobao put the information on the table and asked Wang Wan. "I want to go back to the capital to compete. If we go by land, how can we have time to compete? But when we go back to the capital, it will be the new year. I don't think we can compete. Do you think that if we keep delaying, they will be angry and not compete?" Wang Wan said with a smile. The generals had been waiting for too long, but she and Zhang Xiaobao could always find an excuse to delay time so that they could understand their opponents. "Probably not," Zhang Xiaobao said uncertainly. "Why don't we find some work for them? Don't let them be idle." "What work? Continue to let them play by themselves on the sand table?" Wang Wan couldn't think of any other excuse. Zhang Xiaobao waved his hand and said, "No need. They will only be angrier if we use the same method. I plan to go to Shandong and go ashore. Then on the way here, there will be a lot of local people coming over to reward the army. We will pay for it. Let the commoners drink with the generals, chat, and compete in horseback riding, archery, and so on. Especially the hunters, their methods are not inferior to the soldiers. They have to compete all the way, even if they don't want to compete. Won't that be cowardice before the battle? You still have a lot of bad ideas. All right, we'll do as you say." Compared to the past, we can further increase the goodwill of the soldiers. We can even ask the soldiers to help the villagers repair their houses when we stop by a village during the journey. Wang Wan happily agreed and thought of other things to add. Sure enough, when the troops arrived at the shore of Hunan Road, a large group of people greeted them. They took out all kinds of local specialties and stuffed them into the hands of the soldiers. They also prepared a place and invited the soldiers to play, holding a military and civilian party. The generals were helpless. They knew that this was Zhang Xiaobao's stalling tactic, but they had no choice but to jump into the pit with their eyes wide open. They led their subordinates to hold a party with the commoners, and then achieved good results in the competition venue one after another. When they got on the train, there were countless houses that had been repaired by the soldiers and the hearts of the people behind them. The train was very fast. After a day, Li Longji returned to the capital. There were 6 days left until New Year's Eve. The generals continued to wait. They would compete again after the new year. The results of the imperial examinations were also released. Zhang Xiaobao got first place and Wang Wan got fourth place. She was too embarrassed to stand in another position. That way there would only be one place left in the top 3. The two of them were both ranked in the advancement section. At the same time, their papers were also on the other subjects. There was no lack of their names on the rankings. Their positions on the rankings were relatively high, causing the people who came to see the rankings to exclaim in admiration. Of course, because of the two of them, most of the examinees were unable to go home during the new year. What could they do in 6 days? They could only stay in the places around the capital. Fortunately, the examinees were used to it. Some of the examinees who had planned to participate in next year's spring examinations were caught up in this year's autumn examinations. Regardless of which, they were unable to spend the new year at home. The only thing that made the examinees happy was that their expenses during the new year were still covered by Savant's restaurant. Those who wanted to go home next year would still be paid for their travel expenses. Those who passed the examinations would naturally wait for the arranger. When the time came, their families would also follow them. Finally, I can take a break. Zhang Xiaobao sat on a stool next to the ice skating rink. He watched his younger siblings skating in circles, and said in a relaxed manner. Wang Wan wore ice skates on her feet and sat beside Zhang Xiaobao. She said, "The construction is really fast." The news from Changbai Mountain said that the ice skating rink was completed in a month. It's a pity that there are too few people who know how to skate, so we can't hold any competitions for the time being. You actually charged 50 copper coins per person. It's too expensive. It's not expensive. When there are more people playing, the price will increase to 100 copper coins. Otherwise, it won't be enough to cover the maintenance costs. This is not a roller skating rink. Those who use wheels to run on it are ice skates. It has to be maintained every day. Otherwise, if there are too many potholes, how can other people play? This is the price in winter, and it's even more expensive in summer. Can the Ministry of Works make artificial ice machines now? They can only rely on saltpeter and the ice stored in the ice cellar during winter. Speaking of this, I have to get someone to watch the riverside. Zhang Xiaobao suddenly thought of a problem. Once the ice skates in the ice skating rink were released, it would become a trend for a period of time. Those who thought that the ice skating rink was expensive would take ice carts to the river to play. If the ice surface was not frozen properly, it would be easy for accidents to happen. He had to inform the yamen in cold places to send people to guard the riverside. Otherwise, what would happen if a child fell in? There's also the ice skates. We can't be too anxious now. There's not enough iron. Most of it is used in the industry and military. The ice carts don't use much iron. 2 iron wires and 2 thicker iron nails will do. We can't use an ice stick that is made of iron. Zhang Xiaobao added another sentence. You can think about it yourself. I'll go take a look around and bring Xiaobei and the others to play. Wang Wan got up and looked for Xiaobei and the others to skate. There were very few people in the ice skating rink who could skate on the ice as easily as Xiaobei and the others. They had played before. The other children couldn't even stand. Only a few talented people could put on ice skates for the first time and get used to it for a short while before being able to skate. The others could only push a chair. The sound of wood rubbing against ice could be heard in the rink. It was very lively. However, Zhang Xiaobao could tell from the clothes of the people that he had just seen that not many of them were from ordinary families. They were all the kind that had a bit of money. Perhaps only they were willing to spend 50 copper coins to play once. Zhang Xiaobao didn't have any good ideas about this. He couldn't let all the people of the Great Tang play. If it was just a cold place in the north, perhaps with some effort in the winter, most people could afford to play as long as they wanted to without making any money. It rarely snowed in the south, and even when it snowed, it wouldn't freeze easily. The cost was too high, and many people probably couldn't afford to play. They couldn't afford to play because it wasn't worth it. In contrast, they couldn't afford to play. There was always a choice between eating meat and playing. Brother, there's no one competing. Xiaobei turned around and came to Zhang Xiaobao's side. Looking at the scene of people pushing chairs, she asked. Because there are too few people who know how to play. After the new year, when more people know how to play, your precious candy house will be able to give out prizes. Why don't you discuss with the people who play polo and organize an activity? You can give out prizes. Zhang Xiaobao hugged his sister and said with a smile. Xiaobei shook her head. Polo won't do. Those who can play polo are all rich people. If they don't have money, they can't even afford to buy a horse. Even if I don't advertise them, as long as they want to eat sweets and pastries, or give them away, they will choose my precious candy house first. Like you said, eating isn't just a matter of food, but also a kind of identity. I'd better go and play Kuju. There are many people who play this game. I'll set up new rules for them. According to the rules that you and sister said, it's meaningless to always see who can kick high and who can kick accurately. Oh, that's good. Go and do it. When the time comes to organize it, you can make more money. Remember not to get involved in gambling projects. Keep an eye on the players. Don't let others bribe them. Otherwise, the game won't be good. Zhang Xiaobao thought that his sister was just casually saying it, so he followed along and didn't take it to heart. Xiaobei nodded seriously. Okay, I'll do this. When the time comes, I'll definitely come up with the best Kuju team in Tang Dynasty. After saying that, Xiaobei turned around and went back to skiing. Zhang Xiaobao continued to sit and enjoy a rare moment of leisure. Chinese New Year's Eve came just like that. Every household in Tang Dynasty prepared for the new year. Even those who didn't have a good life wanted to have a good new year. If they couldn't afford mutton, they would buy pork. If it was especially difficult, the local government would naturally take care of it. Li Longji asked Zhang Xiaobao to transfer the money over. During the process, there might be corruption in the price difference, but the people in the local government definitely wouldn't dare to keep the money. Those who didn't buy things and didn't have a good life would be in great danger if they were caught. In terms of living conditions, the best place was naturally the capital. The lives of the people in the capital were generally better than elsewhere. They could do more work, even if it was to help people carry goods. Even if it was to sell snacks, there was still a lot of work waiting for them to do. Therefore, the new year was more festive. Every family bought firecrackers. Those with good hands made their own lanterns. Those who didn't had to buy them. There were all kinds of lanterns. In the afternoon, they were hung up with candles inside. There were electric lights in special places. They were also painted with a layer of color on the outside. For example, the imperial palace and the properties of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family. As for other places, there were no conditions. The first diesel generator that was made was used to light up the streets of the capital. It was heavily guarded and didn't give others a chance to steal it. Although it couldn't be dismantled and made, it still couldn't be done. It had to be kept a secret. There were too many technologies involved. Zhang Xiaobao brought his younger siblings to put up the New Year pictures. Wang Wan went to instruct people to arrange for the villagers from Sanshui County. They couldn't return to Sanshui County for the New Year this year. Therefore, the villagers of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family got together and discussed. They sent many people to the capital to spend the New Year with the main family. As for the expenses, they didn't think about it at all. All of them were very rich. In order to get a place to come, they fought and fought. In the end, they reached an agreement. The children and the elderly were all in the crowd. It couldn't be all adults who came to spend the New Year with them. Without children, it wouldn't be lively. When they arrived in the capital, they naturally had to arrange a place for them to stay. The only regret was that they couldn't spend the New Year's Eve with the main family of the Zhang Xiaobao and Wang family in the same place. Li Longji chose to spend the New Year in the hibiscus garden. People from various industries were selected to accompany the emperor. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's families naturally had to accompany Li Longji. There were limited places. When the dumplings were served, the sound of firecrackers for the New Year sounded almost at the same time. The medical center and the people in charge of putting out the fire were nervous. Although the quality of the firecrackers was good, and the people who made them were very serious, it was easy for people to be injured. In the hibiscus garden, Li Longji sat in a relatively high place happily. He ate a mouthful of dumplings first. Only then did the people who were invited eat. They ate very carefully. afraid that the emperor would suddenly ask, how could they eat dumplings in their mouths? Xiaobei found more than 100 children. They ran around and were very happy. Xiaobao, in the future, we will celebrate with the people every year. Help me think, where should we go for the New Year's Eve dinner next year? Li Longji looked at the performance on the stage. When the sound of the firecrackers died down, he asked Zhang Xiaobao, who was accompanying him. It seems to be too early to think about next year. It's better to wait until then. Actually, it doesn't matter where it is. What's important is that the venue is big enough to hold more people. Next year, you can let the people in many places see your appearance and hear your voice. We'll record it in advance and pretend that you only said it during the new year. When the New Year's Eve comes, we'll show it to the people together with the recorded performances. Unfortunately, there's no live broadcast. That thing is still too far away. Zhang Xiaobao was a little bored as he accompanied Li Longji. The performance on the stage was very good, but Zhang Xiaobao was not interested in it. If it weren't for the fact that he wanted to let his younger siblings have fun, he wouldn't even care if they didn't celebrate the new year. Wang Wan was the same. She sat there and felt sleepy. If it weren't for the firecrackers, she would have fallen asleep easily. The others didn't have the same experience as the two of them, especially the people from all walks of life who were invited. They were able to enjoy such a good performance while eating delicious food. For a moment, they felt that their lives were not in vain. To be able to experience such a thing once in a lifetime was enough. Even Li Longji found it very interesting. This was because many of the performances this year were set by Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. Not only were there singing and dancing performances, there were also many skits and crosstalk performances. There were also acrobatic performances, magic, and so on. Li Longji couldn't bear to take his eyes off the stage. When the performance that established the positive image of soldiers was over, Li Longji asked Zhang Xiaobao, Xiaobao, when do you plan to leave after the new year? I think it will be in March. After the 15th, the new work in the imperial court will have to be arranged. The money collected in the last 2 months of last year will also have to be calculated. After that, Cuckoo will have to participate in the military examination. We can only leave after the examination is over. At that time, the weather will be a little warmer, and it won't be hard to walk. Zhang Xiaobao had long since made up his mind and told Li Longji about it. In fact, even if they left in March next year, it would still be very cold when they arrived. If it snowed this year, the snow might not have melted, but they would be able to see more greenery. Li Longji nodded and looked back at the stage. At this time, Xiaobei ran over and said happily to her brother, Brother, when I was playing with them just now, they said that they wanted to form a cheerleading team to cheer for our team. Isn't that awesome? Awesome. What's the name of your team? Zhang Xiaobao saw that his sister had brought up the topic of football again, so he followed along and asked. It's called the Victorious Kuju Team. There are a total of more than 30 people. During the competition, according to the rules that you and sister said, 11 people can go up. The people I picked are all awesome people, so it will definitely be victorious. Brother, don't you think so? Xiaobei shook her head, looking as if she had a card up her sleeve. Yes. When I heard the name, I also thought that the Kuju team would be very awesome. They would get a few more victories. Zhang Xiaobao naturally wouldn't say anything against it. It didn't matter what name they gave it. Wasn't it just for fun? What he didn't know was that Xiaobei's 9 people had already established the team a few days before the new year. They even had an internal competition. They used the name of Precious Candy House to find people and pay them. Xiaobei's 9 people planned to wait until the 5th day of the new year to find someone to compete with. Okay, I'll continue to talk to them about the cheerleading team. Xiaobei ran away happily. The lively 30th day passed just like that. The next day, many people woke up very late. The night watch was too long, so they only went to bed in the morning. Especially those who were overly excited because they were invited. They first lay down and couldn't sleep. Then they didn't want to wake up. Xiaobei's 9 people were even more so. They only opened their eyes in the afternoon of the first day of the new year when they felt hungry. Immediately, the people in charge of the shift came to serve them. After eating their fill, The 9 children gathered together to discuss their own important matters, while they had a few days of rest during the new year. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had to follow their families to welcome the people who came to pay New Year's greetings. Due to different customs, the two of them had to welcome and send off people. Some people would pay New Year's greetings on the first day of the new year, while others wouldn't go out the entire day. They didn't even take out the garbage. The sanitation workers in charge of cleaning the streets had a harder time. They drove the cars, swept up the firecrackers, and moved them away. When the sun came out, the streets were already cleaned. Li Longji, who was becoming more and more considerate, knew that the sanitation workers worked hard, so he gave them a lot of overtime pay. The money they earned during the new year was equivalent to 2 months of their usual income. Therefore, each and every one of them worked very seriously. They felt that it was worth it to be a little tired. In addition to the sanitation workers, there were also people who had been sticking to their posts. They also received a lot of compensation. Even the farmers who worked for the main family received more rewards than usual. This was all because of the relationship between the Zhang family and the Wang family in Sanshui County. With people from Zhuangzi, the relationship between the Zhang family and the Wang family could be written into a big book. Especially the farmers, all of them were very loyal and didn't slack off when they worked. Therefore, they tried to give more benefits to their own farmers. They found that not only did their family's income not decrease, it increased instead. On the 5th day of the new year, Xiaobei and the others still hadn't gone to do their own things. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan found them, and went to Xingqing Palace to play together. "Are you looking for Uncle Emperor to eat?" Xiaobei had been afraid for the past few days. No matter where she went, she could smell the strong smell of meat. Especially when she went out to do things, as long as she lightly sniffed, there would definitely be a strong smell of meat floating over. In the beginning, she was very happy, because it meant that the people in the capital were living better lives. But after smelling it, she felt disgusted. Only when she was at home did she feel better. There wasn't much meat at home. Except for the food that had to be made during the new year, everything else was about the same as usual. Xiaobei naturally thought that when she went to the palace, there would be too much meat waiting for her to eat. How terrifying was that? Wang Wan knew what Xiaobei was thinking. She smiled and said, "We're not going to eat. We're going to take you to watch cartoons. The thing has been made. I think it will be damaged after one performance. Uncle Emperor will also watch it together." "Oh, it's good that you don't have to eat. I'm scared. The cartoons are done? Let's go quickly," Xiaobei urged. The group of people sped up and directly went to Xingqing Palace. Li Longji was also waiting. There were many people busy in the courtyard. A large shed was first set up, blocking the surroundings, making it dark inside. There were also people carefully holding bundles of glass pieces, gently lifting and placing them. Li Longji already knew the principle, but he hadn't seen it in detail. While watching others busy, he occasionally said a few words to Gao Lisher. He wasn't the only one watching. Many concubines, palace maids, and eunuchs in the palace also gathered to the side. As long as the shed was big enough, more people could go in. When Zhang Xiaobao arrived, the glass pieces were all carried into the shed. There were even people who specially hung a large piece of white cloth in front of the electric lamps. They adjusted the angle of the light, so that it shone on the white cloth. Xiaobei and the others anxiously waited until someone said it was done. Only then did they rush in and find a good place to sit. From time to time, they would look back at the place where the light came from. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan also sat down with Li Longji. The others were naturally arranged by others. When everything was stable, the glass pieces on the other side were quickly rolled up. A continuous animation appeared on the white cloth in front of the shed. Only Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were used to this. The others had never seen this before. Although there was no sound, they were very shocked. Li Longji's mouth was opened by Wei Wei. Suddenly, there was a sound. There was the sound of a cat and a mouse moving in the animation, as well as background music. When they looked in the direction of the sound, they saw many people busy there. In fact, the dubbers were already in position when the scene started. They had practiced a few times in private. This time, because the emperor was present, they were nervous. The person in charge of directing didn't do the action properly, so there was a blank period. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan chose the style of a cat and a mouse. This was because there was no need to speak. Just by looking at their actions, they could know what they were trying to express. The cat and mouse were drawn very cartoonish. This was achieved by correcting the animation over and over again. Otherwise, the animators would have to show their own style. The background of the animation was also the current situation in Great Tang. There was nothing that should not be there. For example, there was no television. There were sofas, chairs, and so on. There were also no high-rise buildings in the environment. After Zhang Xiaobao saw it, he curled his lips. The animation was too bad. Sometimes, there would be a short pause. It was obvious that there was a problem with the glass at the back. When that thing was pulled quickly, it was not as good as film. Wang Wan also had a calm expression. There was nothing to be excited about. If there was anything to be excited about, it would be because the first animation had appeared in Great Tang. It would be written in the history books and emphasized that the first animation had appeared because Zhang Xiaobai and the other 9 people wanted to watch it. Yes, it would be written like that. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan could be calm, but the others could not. Xiaobei's eyes were wide open. From time to time, he would point at the cat that was being bullied and laugh. The palace maids and eunuchs were also trying hard to hold back their laughter. As long as Li Longji heard Xiaobei laugh, he would definitely laugh out loud. Just as everyone was enjoying themselves, the animation suddenly ended. It was a little more than a quarter of an hour. About 20 minutes later, the animation was over. Is there more? I still want to watch it. Xiaobei turned around and looked at the area where the light was coming from. Although there would be a pause from time to time when the glass at the back was pulled out, the next roll had to be pulled, so there was a pause. However, no one cared. Everyone had tacitly agreed that the animation was continuous. Even when the scene changed, everyone could immediately understand what was going on. A quarter of an hour was like an instant in everyone's hearts. It had just started and it ended. It was really not satisfying. After Xiaobei asked, Li Longji also asked, "Is there more?" Zhang Xiaobao shook his head regretfully. There's no more. In just a quarter of an hour, more than 20,000 pieces of glass have been used. The people behind have to keep working. If things go wrong, someone might get hurt. I'll ask them later. Even so, the animation speed is still not good. It can't reach 24 times per second. Let's just make do with it. There's no more. Xiaobei also felt regretful. If only we had that much more time. Bro, let's continue. I can take out my pocket money. It's really fun. Okay, let's continue. Furthermore, this can be replayed. If there are any broken pieces of glass, just replace them. If we make another one, we'll have to wait. It's very time-consuming. When the film comes out in the future, I'll make 100 episodes for you first and let you take them to your precious candy house to play. Zhang Xiaobao knew that it was not easy to make, but so what? It was fine as long as his younger brother and sister liked it. Furthermore, after it was made, if they let the rich buy tickets outside to watch it, they would probably be able to recoup the cost in just a few episodes. Was it expensive to watch it 100 times per episode? Alright, I still want to watch that cat and that mouse. Why do they look so cute? They look like humans. Seeing that his brother had agreed, Xiaobei happily described the actions of the animals in the animation that he had just watched. Even though he had only watched it once, Xiaobei could still describe it pretty well. The others were also reminiscing about the scene that they had seen in the past 15 minutes. Today, they had broadened their horizons. There was actually such a wonderful thing in the world. They had never heard of it before. Xiaobao, leave this thing in the palace first. We will watch it 2 more times. Oh, when we watch it, we will definitely call Xiaobei and the others. We will wait for the new one to be made. You can take the old one and earn money. Li Longji opened his mouth to ask Zhang Xiaobao. Suddenly, he saw Xiaobei looking up and pouting, so he could only add on. Zhang Xiaobao knew what Li Longji meant. There were many people in the palace. After hearing about it from those who had never seen it before, they would keep thinking about it, and would not be able to do things properly. It was better to watch it together and see what was strange. Thus he nodded and agreed. Even though Xiaobei was still a little reluctant, he could only endure it. When the time came, when Uncle Emperor saw it, he would definitely come. Li Longji went to the back and looked at the people who were busy just now. No one was injured, but a few hundred pieces of glass were broken. They would have to be redrawn. They had been pulling too quickly just now and had broken them. Looking at the pieces of glass, Li Longji suddenly said, "According to this drawing method, won't we be able to draw our movements?" "Yes, we can draw it. Your Majesty, why would you draw yourself? How long will it take you to draw it once? If it suddenly breaks, we will have to redraw it. Moreover, it is impossible to broadcast it everywhere. It is inconvenient to transport it, and it is not easy to repair it after it breaks. It is better to wait for the film to come out." Zhang Xiaobao first admitted that Li Longji's idea was good, but then rejected it. Li Longji's character movements were not as attractive as cartoons. Once it was produced, it could only be shown to a small number of people. It would not be able to be sold outside to earn money. More importantly, the shape of a character was much more difficult to draw than a cartoon. Cartoons only needed to be drawn according to a certain style and look like a cartoon. However, if a character had to be realistic, it would take a lot of effort. When drawing a character, they would have to draw a small piece of glass. It was estimated that the time it took an artist to draw a character would be enough to draw 50 cartoons. Zhang Xiaobao explained this principle to Li Longji. Li Longji's hope that had just risen was gone again. He wanted his character to appear in the eyes of all the people of Great Tang. Just like a cartoon, it had to be coherent and look like a real person. Now he could only temporarily give up on this plan and continue to wait for the film to come out. He hoped that the production would be faster. Waiting was really making him anxious. The glass piece was put back by the staff and the shed was removed. After the show ended, the palace maids and eunuchs returned to their posts and began to talk to the others about what the cartoon was, how fun it was, what the cat and mouse looked like, why the two animals would fight, why the mouse bullied the cat, and so on. Thus, the thing that Li Longji was worried about happened. Although the palace maids and eunuchs who had not seen it with their own eyes did not dare to slack off, they still occasionally fell into a trance even if they tried their best not to think about it. Some of them would even dream at night and say a few words in their sleep. In the end, Li Longji urged the staff to fix the glass piece the next day and play it again. Xiaobei and the others came again and watched it. On the third day, they continued to play it again. Only after playing it twice did the palace maids and eunuchs finally calm down and get back to work. However, their conversation still revolved around the cartoon. They began to think about when they would be able to watch the next episode together. Xiaobei and the others began to study again. Most of their time was spent on studying. Occasionally, they could go out to play and participate in their soccer match. The 15th day of the first lunar month was gradually approaching. The people who had just celebrated the new year were once again happily busy. The price of meat and vegetables was also very high, 30% more than usual. However, Zhang Xiaobao did not care. It was the new year, so it was normal. After the new year, the price would naturally fall. On the 15th day of the month, one could also see the moon by watching the lanterns. Taking advantage of the cold weather, many ice sculptures were placed on the streets of the capital. There was space left for candles, making the entire capital look sparkling and translucent. Li Longji, who had just invited people from various industries, once again hosted a banquet at Hibiscus Garden. Those who came last time did not have to come this time. There was a lantern festival, a variety of stuffed lantern festival dumplings, and also a large-scale party. They even played the cartoon, which shocked countless people. They did not know what was going on beforehand, let alone understand the principle behind it. They thought that the animals in the cartoon were real people. Oh, they really looked like a cat and a mouse. They were probably the celestial cat and mouse from the Immortal Palace. Otherwise, why would they be in the cartoon? Furthermore, they could wear clothes. Therefore, after the Lantern Festival on the 15th day of the month, rumors began to spread in the capital. It was said that celestial animals had come down to perform for the emperor. Each and every one of them became more and more amazing as the rumors spread. Zhang Xiaobao knew that it was time to open the market and make money. Chapter 982. While Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were helping out with the last 2 months of taxes, Xiaobei had already taken out the cartoon and played it. This time, it was free of charge. It was only for the children who had spent money at Baby's Candy House. If they wanted to watch it in the future, they would have to pay for it. According to the price set by Zhang Xiaobao, it was 100 strings of cash. As a result, the sales of Baby's Candy House increased greatly. In order to watch the cartoon, the children bought candy and pastries with all their might. Under such circumstances, Xiaobei and the others discussed and decided to sell the goods at a discount. This set off another wave of purchases and allowed Xiaobei and the others to earn a lot of money. Adding on the money they had earned during the new year, they no longer had to worry about not having enough pocket money. If something were to happen somewhere, they could still fork out money to help. Just as Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan were feeling happy for their younger siblings, they suddenly realized that something was wrong with Xiaobei and the others during lunch one day. Even Jun Air and Pan Air, who played with them, were unhappy. Zhang Xiaobao saw this and felt that he had to ask. Xiaobei, Baby's Candy House's business is not bad. Keep up the good work and let us earn even more. As for your cartoon, as long as you fork out the production costs, the rest of the money will belong to you and be used to realize your dreams. Tell me, what other dreams do you have? Zhang Xiaobao first praised his sister, and then gave away the profits from the cartoon. Only then did he casually ask about their dreams. Mine. Our dream is to let the ever-victorious Kuju play and win the game. We have already lost 3 games in a row. Xiaobei said sadly, as if losing the game was not right. Little Yuan added, we only played 3 matches in total, and we didn't win a single one. Furthermore, we were competing against 3 different teams, all with 11 people. Furthermore, we felt that we had a better grasp of the rules. Who knew that once we started playing, we would still lose? Aya. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan suddenly understood. So it was because the football team lost the game. The two of them really didn't know about this matter. When Xiaobei said that she wanted to play Kuju, she was actually very serious. Zhang Xiaobao thought that his sister was just casually saying it. He didn't expect that she would be so serious. It looked like he had to find a way to let the football team win. Therefore, Zhang Xiaobao asked, can you tell me how you looked like at that time? How did you lose? Is it because your defense is bad, or your offense is bad? Is it because your individual skills are bad, or is your overall coordination not good enough? Xiaobei and the others shook their heads with every question their brother asked. They had no idea what was going on. Anyway, they just lost the ball and let the other party get the ball into the goal. If he said that his own team did not work hard, he would be wrongly accusing them. When they were on the field, they did not know how to rest at all. They ran back and forth with all their might. Moreover, after losing the competition, the people in the team were even sadder than them. Some people even knelt on the lawn and cried loudly. They were as sad as they could be, but they just could not win. After the first match, they gathered together to discuss it. They came up with many ideas, but they lost the second match. When they discussed it again, they still lost. There was no end to the losses. Oh, is that so? Then I have to see it for myself. Isn't the lawn prickly? Zhang Xiaobao could only accompany his siblings to watch the match when he realized that he couldn't get an answer. It's not prickly. It's just that it's made of hay. There's no green grass, so it doesn't hurt to fall on the hay. It's just that when we kicked the ball, the grass flew everywhere. There's too much dust. We decided to cancel the lawn next time and switch to soft soil. That way, it won't be a problem even if we fall. Xiaobei explained and continued. I know that losing the game has nothing to do with the grass. Everyone is playing on the same ground. We can't blame the grass, nor can we blame the people who kicked the ball. They worked very hard. Xiaoyuan echoed. That's right. If there's a mistake, it's also on us. Where did we not do well? I saw that they all had a few people on the side giving instructions. We didn't understand, so we could only cheer them on. No problem. Trust me. After watching the match, I'll be able to make your team win. Zhang Xiaobao wasn't that confident, but he had to act like he could do anything. Who knew if the 3 teams that won didn't have a powerful star player on the team? A powerful person could do a lot of things. I knew you weren't worried. You'll definitely make us win. Let's eat. There's a match tomorrow. The people who just finished today can't play. Another batch of people will go up. Xiaobei's mood improved again. The other 8 children also ate happily. Even Junior and Pan clumsily picked up their chopsticks to eat. Emotions were very influential. After Zhang Xiaobao finished eating, he continued to teach his younger siblings. In the evening, when he was chatting with Wang Wan, he thought of this matter and said, maybe Xiaobei can really make the Tang Dynasty's football rejuvenate. The football played now is too civilized. The confrontation isn't fierce. It's not like what the book said in the past. It said that there's even the art of war in it. I know. We also had the art of war in it back then. I reckon that compared to the ancient times, our football was only stronger, not weaker. That's because football was a very large industry at that time. All kinds of people specialized in studying it. There were also videos for people to watch over and over again. Wang Wan replied. She also compared the football of the 2 periods and came to a conclusion. Zhang Xiaobao followed and said, it should be said that under the rules of our time, the research on football was relatively good. If the rules were changed, it might not be possible. Fortunately, Xiaobei and the others used the rules that we explained to them. It shouldn't be very difficult. Let's wait and see. Didn't they say that the people of the ancient times were physically inferior to the people of the present? Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many records broken. The people of the modern era have good nutrition, and the other have strong professionalism. It seems that Xiaobei is really counting on football to make money. Wang Wan analyzed again. Yes, but if we keep losing, we won't be making money, but losing money. Let's sleep. We'll go and take a look tomorrow. Zhang Xiaobao said as he hugged Wang Wan. The 2 of them leaned against each other and fell asleep. Early the next morning, Xiaobei hurriedly ate a meal, brought a lot of snacks, and organized a large team to go to the football field. The football field was outside the city. It was a place that had not been completed yet. Xiaobei found it with great difficulty. He also found someone to contact the other football teams, and told them the rules. The other team was unwilling to agree at first, but Xiaobei's identity was different, so they agreed. That meant that they would play with Xiaobei and the others. At the beginning of the game, the other team was already prepared to lose. They thought that the people that Xiaobei found would be very good. But when they played, they found that they were not as good as they imagined. There was also a possibility of winning, so they won. Xiaobei and the others who lost were very magnanimous. They did not find trouble in other aspects, so there were many people who were willing to play with them. This was because Xiaobei and the others promised the other team that if they lost, they would treat the other team to a meal at the Joy House. If the other team lost, they would take out 10 strings of money to support the development of the team. They would give the money to Xiaobei first. In the summer, Xiaobei would get people to plant lawns and build a good football field. Those who wanted to play with Xiaobei did not think that Xiaobei would not use the money on the construction. They did not lack this bit of money. It was just a wager. In the end, Xiaobei and the others treated them 3 times in a row. Of course, because it was in their own restaurant, the cost of the dishes was not high. The other team was also embarrassed to order expensive dishes. Just like that, more and more people wanted to play with the victorious football team. They had already lost 3 games in a row, and were probably not good enough. The team that Xiaobei and the others were playing with today was the team that won the first time. It was called Victorious. They probably came up with this name at the last minute after hearing the name of Xiaobei's team. When Xiaobei arrived, the other team was already waiting. There were also many spectators. Of course, the spectators now would not pay for tickets. There was a large open space around them, and no one had surrounded it. Anyone could come over if they wanted to. When Xiaobei arrived, he did not say any nonsense. He directly told the other team that they could begin. Hence the game began. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan waited for the game to start before coming over. They did not want to give the other team any pressure. If they came before the game started, the other team would probably be worried that they were backed by Xiaobei and the others. They would say that they were bullying Xiaobei and so on. How would they play then? The 2 of them even put on some makeup and squeezed in between the people on Xiaobei's side. They looked at the field and frowned at the same time. What kind of football is this? Everyone is playing together? Isn't there a strategy? Zhang Xiaobao whispered to Wang Wan. Wang Wan was also very surprised. How could this be? Other than the goalkeeper who did not move, there were 10 people on each side. Wherever the ball was, they would surround it. There was no formation at all. Occasionally, there would be 1 or 2 people who were smarter. They would first judge the situation, estimate where the ball would be kicked, and run over in advance. Then, if the point was right, the ball would appear at their feet. They would then attack. If the point was wrong, there would be 1 less person in front of them squeezing to grab the ball. Their own team members would shout at them, saying that they were running around blindly and slacking off. Wang Wan watched for a while and said, "Could it be that there are problems with the field and the rules that make them squeeze together? Because they are now competing to see who can kick the ball higher. They must have a lot of strength. When the ball falls, it will take a relatively long time, so they have more time to run to that place." Listening to Wang Wan's words, Zhang Xiaobao pondered and found that this was really the case. When everyone was there to grab the ball, as long as they grabbed it, they would kick it high up in the air instead of passing it low. This had something to do with the current football atmosphere. "If that's the case, I know why Xiaobei's team lost," Zhang Xiaobao said with certainty. "Why?" Wang Wan asked. "Because of bad luck and bad points. They lost 3 games in a row. Or is it because the goalkeeper is not good? The opponent is attacking. This ball is too floating. It will probably go straight out of the end line and can't go in." As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, the opponent kicked the ball toward the goal of the team that always won, but it was wide and very high. After landing, it would roll out. But the fact shocked Zhang Xiaobao. It was not what he thought. The goalkeeper on his side took the initiative to greet them, and looked like he was determined to get the ball. Then 20 people also ran there with smoke and dust. The goalkeeper on his side was the first to touch the ball. He did not take it with his hands, but with his feet. After getting the ball, he glanced at the crowd that was rushing over. Then he dribbled the ball while avoiding the crowd, and rushed diagonally to the other side's goal. When he saw this situation, Zhang Xiaobao's mouth was wide open, and Wang Wan also had a blank expression. "I admit that the luck I just said is not everything. There are many objective reasons." After the goalkeeper on his side found that he could not outrun the others, he kicked the ball toward the opponent's goal with all his strength, but he did not run back quickly. Zhang Xiaobao admitted his mistake. Then he saw the opponent's goalkeeper also run out and kick the ball. The football spun toward the other side's half of the field, and the 20 people ran back to the ball's landing point. This time they caught up, and then one of the opponents kicked the ball toward the goal of the team that always won. Zhang Xiaobao watched the goalkeeper on his side start to run back and chase the ball. Oh, amazing! The ball was actually stopped by him at the last moment. Damn, he came out again? He is really stupid. Look at the opponent's goalkeeper. At least he did not take the initiative to attack. He just kicked the ball to our side of the field. I guess that's how they lost. Our goalkeeper is too well-rounded. He can play any position on the field, and is working hard to do so. On the other hand, the other side's goalkeeper is too lazy and his skills are not well-rounded enough. He can't play the forward position, so he stays behind. Zhang Xiaobao gritted his teeth and praised the goalkeeper on his side. He really put in a lot of effort. His stamina looked good. If it was not for his slow running speed when he dribbled the ball, it was estimated that he could fly all over the field. Hearing Zhang Xiaobao's words, Wang Wan smiled and said, "With your mouth, tell Bei Bei to tell our goalkeeper not to leave the big penalty area. Don't leave the small one either. Just stay there." Zhang Xiaobao called for his sister. Bei Bei came over to listen to his brother, nodded, ran behind his own goal, and shouted to the goalkeeper, "You stay at the door, the small frame. You are not allowed to go out." "I'm not tired. Don't worry, I can do it." The goalkeeper thought Bei Bei was afraid that he would be tired, so he said that to himself. "No one cares if you are tired or not. Listen to orders now. You are not allowed to go out. Remember, if you go out, I will teach you a lesson." After Bei Bei finished shouting, she ran back to her brother's side and watched quietly. She wanted to see if her brother's words were effective. The game on the field continued. There were still 20 people crazily fighting for the ball. However, Beibei's team did not lose the goal as easily as before. This was because the goalkeeper had become a real goalkeeper. He no longer played as a defender, midfielder, or even a forward. The match lasted for 45 minutes, and the first half ended after 45 minutes. This time, Xiaobei jumped up and cheered, because in the first half, her team had scored 6 goals against the other team, while the other team had only scored 2 goals. The other team's goalkeeper couldn't play as a forward, but he liked to play as a defender, and he also wandered outside. Then, when he could not directly touch the ball with his hands, he could only helplessly kick it with his feet. Sometimes, if he did not kick well, the ball would pass through, and it would become a situation where 21 people chased after it. We won. The first half was not bad. Continue to work hard in the second half. I said before that our team can do it. Goalkeeper, you have to stay at the goal in the second half. Don't always run forward. This time, it's because you stayed where you were supposed to stay that we got the lead. Beibei asked someone to bring the warm soup over for the players to drink. She encouraged and praised them at the side. In fact, when they lost the 3 games, she did not show any sadness on her face. Like today, she still encouraged and told the players not to be anxious. This was because she knew that the players had already worked very hard. No matter whether it was on the field or during training, there was no fault to be found. Recently, Beibei and the others could always see that during training, when the players were tired, they did not even have the energy to take a shower. They just fell asleep on the Kong. The wages given to them were also deposited in the bank, saying that it was for their families to spend together. After losing 3 games in a row, the players did not want to be paid no matter what. According to Xiao Yuan, this was a team that was willing to work hard, willing to train with their lives on the line, willing to know how to save, and also knew shame. It was just that the 9 of them did not command well. And it was not the players' fault. Beibei now agreed with Xiao Yuan's statement. Big Brother was Big Brother. He was really amazing. How did he know that the goalkeeper could win the game if he stayed and did not go? At this time, the other side was very depressed. How could they lose? The last time they played, they won very easily. Furthermore, Beibei's team played continuously. This time, they sent a substitute lineup. A total of 11 people were changed, and the rules were slightly changed. Could the substitutes play better than the main force? It should not be. It was obvious that these 11 people's skills were a lot worse than the main forces. So they had to figure it out. The head of the football team walked over to Beibei's side, wanting to see what was going on. At the same time, he wanted to thank Beibei and the others. They had also brought soup out. On the field, they were competitors, but outside the field they could be friends. Just as he arrived at Beibei's side and saw Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, who had slightly disguised themselves in the crowd, everything became clear. It turned out that the other side's command was not Beibei's 9 people, but Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. No wonder the substitute lineup played at such a level. Their command was very good. Yes, that was what the head of Sherwin thought. He had never doubted whether Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan did not know Kuju. In his heart, the 2 of them knew everything. Seeing that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had no intention of coming over to talk, he thanked Beibei's 9 people, turned around, hung his head and returned to his team. It was needless to say how depressed he was. After telling the matter to the team members, the morale of the team members was even lower. One of the team members muttered unhappily, "This is too much of a bully. It's just a game of Kuju. Do the 2 of them have to come over personally? We can't go to the Success residence today." Beibei just lost in a row, but he actually called his brother and sister over. They're really bullying us. Okay, stop complaining. Play well in the second half. How are they bullying us? According to you, if we play with Beibei and the others, are we also bullying the children? The head of the football team thought it through and encouraged his team members. He also thought hard about where the problem was. Could it be the other side's goalkeeper? Just now when Beibei went over and shouted, the goalkeeper did not move like a decoration. Was that really the case? Chapter 983. While the leader of the Sherwin team was pondering, the Always Win team scored. The morale of the team played its role at this moment. After Xiao Bei's team won the first half, they came back and saw that the commanders were Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. They understood in their hearts. Immediately, their blood surged, and they seemed to have endless energy. As long as they didn't win a few games, they wouldn't be able to face the strong players that Xiao Bei had recruited. They were all full of confidence. The other team was discouraged. They felt too much pressure and lost the confidence to win. It wasn't that they were afraid that Zhang Xiaobao would get angry because his sister had lost 3 games, but they didn't think that they could win with Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's commands. Zhang Xiaobao made a helpless expression and said to Wang Wan, "Look, their aura suddenly came out. There's nothing we can do. Come on, don't be so happy. If you really meet a competition team that can perform on the spot, let's see what you can do. The greater the pressure, the better the performance." Wang Wan mercilessly attacked Zhang Xiaobao's narcissistic behavior. "Simple, buy them and make them our team," Zhang Xiaobao said indifferently. Xiao Bei hurriedly pulled on his brother's clothes. "Brother, I believe that our team can do it. If we don't buy other teams, they can definitely do better." Zhang Xiaobao looked at his sister, who was showing her innocence at this moment. He really wanted to talk to her about the cruelty of competitive competitions. On the football field, a talented player was very powerful. An excellent striker could make the other team pay for defenders to mark him. But in the end, he didn't say it. Considering the football situation in front of them, even if they didn't have excellent players, they could temporarily achieve an overwhelming victory through tactics. Then he would do as his sister said. Xiao Bei is right. We don't buy other teams. We can continue to recruit people. When the main team is full, we can put them in the substitutes positions. When the substitutes are full, we can also have a second team, or even a third team, or even a fourth team, including the youth team. We can cultivate our own strong players. Oh, okay. I want our team to win all over the world. The other team's goalkeeper isn't coming out? He's actually learning from us. Just as Xiao Bei was feeling happy, he suddenly realized that after the opposing goalkeeper received the ball, he did not personally pass it out. After passing it out, he obediently guarded the goal. If the goalkeeper didn't come out, it would be difficult to get in. Nowadays, football depended on who could kick the ball higher and more accurately. However, the word accurate was different from what Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan wanted. The ball did not have any speed. If it went in a straight line, most of the goalkeepers would be able to block it. What the two asked for was not the accuracy of the kick into the goal, but to be able to accurately judge the position of the goalkeeper and the landing point of the ball. The harder it was to judge the trajectory of the ball, the better. Seeing that the competition between the two teams was getting more intense, and that it was harder to score, the other Kuju players around them seemed to have discovered a new continent and revealed expressions of understanding. For a moment, the game entered a state of stalemate. In the midst of the 20 people fighting, they finally found a chance to shoot. When they shot, the ball flew too straight, giving people the impression that they wanted to take the ball and smash the goalkeeper down. The goal was to smash him until he did not dare to defend. At this time, the goalkeeper showed a fearless spirit. Braving the danger of being covered in cuts and bruises, he opened his eyes wide and let people smash him. Wang Wan watched and laughed. She said to Zhang Xiaobao, "Husband, you're very capable. Think of another way." Zhang Xiaobao shook his head. "There's no other way. I really want to let them understand the concepts of the forward, the midfield, the fullback, the midfielders, the side forwards, and the other positions in 1 second. But is it possible? When I saw them play polo, the coordination of their positions was pretty good. Why did it change when they played football?" Wang Wan also thought about it. It's probably because the horses are squeezed together and can't run away. Let Li Longji command a football team. Maybe he can arrange the positions well. If you don't believe me, we can try. Let Xiao Bei invite him to play a game. If he loses, he can immediately think of a way to deal with it. More or less. In the story you told me, didn't you say that he defeated a foreign team in polo? Looks like I really have to pick out more sports to develop in the Tang Empire. There are no radios and no movies. Once the sky turns dark, they can only do one sport. Their bodies have not adjusted well, and the quality of their children is not high. I want people to have more children, but I don't want them to have a bunch of idiots and deformities. If not for Xiao Bei and the others being too stubborn, I wouldn't have taken this seriously. Sports that are not intense can also let people train their bodies. It's two different things from working out. Zhang Xiaobao did a deep reflection. He felt that there were many candidates for this. One of them was Li Longji. There was no doubt that Li Longji was very good at playing games. He was also more skilled in politics in the early days. Wang Wan had once said that Li Longji had become careless because the great Tang had truly given off a very stable appearance. Later on, due to his old age, his brain was no longer as good as before. He believed that the rise of the pear garden wasn't because Li Longji wanted to play with it. He must have realized that the people of Great Tang were gradually getting richer, and their pursuit of civilization had lessened. Thus, he set up the pear garden for everyone to play with so that they wouldn't think of rebelling. The results proved that Li Longji did not have the foresight of a transmigrator. He did not know that there was a weapon that could hit his head when Lu Zhou fired it. No matter how he moved, he would not be able to dodge it. There was also a light from beyond the heavens that told him in advance that he would be hit. He would not be able to dodge it. That was why he let his guard down. Now he's finally afraid. He knows that there's still a powerful country. He doesn't even have the confidence to claim that the Tang Empire is the greatest under the heavens. However, we're not afraid. Who dares to compete with the Tang Empire now? Let's make our lives more colorful, Zhang Xiaobao said with a smile when he thought about Li Longji. Wang Wan thought about it for a moment before she said, "In theory, with diesel engines we can fly. I don't want it to create sonic booms when it flies. It'll be fine as long as it can fly. This will make Li Longji believe us more." What if he finds out that the Earth is round one day? After a few decades, the fleet will have explored many places, Zhang Xiaobao asked. He'll be too old by then. Even if he's still alive and knows that the Earth is round, he should know that there are many planets out there. The people living on those planets can come and attack him at any time. Can he still be the emperor by then? Wang Wan was not concerned about this. That's right. We can't think too far ahead. Let's think about what's in front of us. As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, his eyes returned to the field. The score on the field had changed again. The team that always won was far ahead with 8 goals, while the team that was sure to win was behind with 3 goals. The scramble for the ball was still fierce, and the fight for every ball was very fierce. Zhang Xiaobao felt that if a player could show his individual skills when besieged by a group of people, then this player would definitely be extraordinary. He had never seen a striker who could break through the blockade of 10 defenders alone. Zhang Xiaobao saw with his own eyes that one of the forwards on his side ran very quickly and received the ball first. Then he made a feint to shoot. When the group of people on the other side changed direction and continued to rush towards him, he flicked the ball to the side and then raised his leg to shoot. In the end, the ball still went out of the goal, but Zhang Xiaobao had already memorized him. His feint and sideways movements when he lifted his leg to shoot, with a little bit of training, he could do it like a pendulum and a bicycle. He was a talent. He then asked his sister, who was standing next to him, "Xiao Bei, what's his name?" "He's number 6 on the field." Xiao Bei answered very directly, "I don't know. There are too many people, so I can't remember." "Is number 6 not good?" "I think his play is passable." "It's very good. Find him later. I want to see how his individual skills are." Zhang Xiaobao confirmed that number 6 was the best player. "Oh." Xiao Bei agreed and paid attention to the game again. When the final whistle blew, the score of the game was 14 goals for always won, and 8 goals for sure to win. Seeing this score, Zhang Xiaobao was full of admiration. He knew how this big score came about. Because at the end of the game, the players were tired of squeezing. Their energy and physical strength decreased at the same time. The balls that flew towards the goalkeeper were no longer so accurate. Moreover, there were fewer high balls and more low balls. The goalkeeper was still not used to the balls that flew from too low a position. The goal rate increased under such circumstances. If it was the opponent's team that played this game, it could be called a great counterattack. The players who came off the field were greeted with cheers from the audience. They were all exhausted. They ran all over the field. If they persevered, they would win. Xiao Bei's team of 9 was very professional. They even had a medical team to help the two teams massage and relax. The 22 people groaned as they were massaged. It was unknown whether they were in pain or enjoying it. Zhang Xiaobao took a few steps forward and stood next to number 6 on his side. He said to sure to win in a voice that they could hear. Today, I'll invite you to Joy House for a meal. It's my treat. It has nothing to do with winning or losing. You have to hand over the money you lost to my brother and sister. The opposing team's players finally showed a little smile. 10 bowls of money was nothing. Going to Joy House for a meal was far from this amount. Even if they lost the game, they would still earn. The adults also understood that Zhang Xiaobao did not pursue the fact that they won the first match against his brother and sister. Treating them to a meal meant that they would accompany his brother and sister to play. Voices of thanks sounded one after another. Zhang Xiaobao casually waved his hand and pulled a chair over. He sat next to number 6, who was being massaged, and asked, "How old are you? How long have you played football?" "Young master, I've been playing football since I was 20. Oh, I've been playing football for 7-8 years. When I was brought here, I played the best football there." Number 6 endured the soreness and gritted his teeth as he answered. He understood that playing football was kicking the ball. "Oh, when I was watching you just now, I saw you fake a shot and then push the ball away. How did you think of that?" Zhang Xiaobao felt that the other party was a little older, but the other party had been playing for 8 years and his skills were relatively fixed. He did not know if he could adapt to his teaching method faster. Number 6 was very nervous. He thought that Zhang Xiaobao said that he should not fake a shot, so he replied carefully, "I'm used to it. When I played in the past, they always fought with me for the opportunity to shoot. Seeing that I was easy to bully, they would run over and touch me when I was about to shoot, so I couldn't play well. In order to avoid them, I first made a kicking motion. When they were about to touch me, I kicked the ball to the side. They would dodge it and I could play for a while longer." Zhang Xiaobao suddenly understood and nodded. "Very good. Let's go eat today and drink 2 glasses of wine to promote blood circulation. Go to bed early at night. You don't have to train tomorrow when you wake up. Tell the others that you don't have to train either. I'll find time to watch you and then teach you how to play football well." Yes, young master, I'll remember." Number 6 became excited and shouted to the others. "Young master said that from today until tomorrow, before young master comes, we are not allowed to train. Young master wants to teach us personally." His words caused the players of his team to roar. The people of the other teams could only watch. In the past 2 days, they also liked the new rules and felt that it was more fun than before. It was fun, and the purpose was to win. There were also 3 teams that consecutively beat Zhang Wang's team and Xiao Bei's team. They felt proud when they said this, but now they knew that good times did not last long. They had beaten Xiao Bei's team so badly that they called their older brother. From now on, they probably would not have the chance to beat them. It was all the fault of the 3 teams that won. Why didn't they let Xiao Bei's team win? Now it's over. Their older brother came, and they immediately won a game. Zhang Xiaobao felt the atmosphere around him, and generously let everyone go to Joy House to eat. If everyone was familiar with each other, they would be able to play more comfortably in the future. They shouldn't act like enemies when they meet. It was easy to cause too much emotional and personal harm. When it was time to eat, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan did not go. They carried the sleepy Juner and Panna home. Xiao Bei's team of 9 followed them. They had to properly praise their team members. Zhang Xiaobao returned. Just as he settled Juner and Panna down, the eunuch Luo Bin came over with a food box. Inside was the food prepared by Gao Lisher. It was sealed to prove that no one had touched it. Zhang Xiaobao did not even check the seal and directly tore it off. He did not forget to give Luo Bin a big red packet. It was not that he did not care if the food was poison, but he knew that no one would have the chance to poison it. When his godfather was in the palace, he would send out a few groups of people to keep watch. When he was outside the palace gates, there were other eunuchs following him. There were also people secretly monitoring his own home. There were 4 dishes and 1 soup in the food box. The 4 dishes were all vegetables. The soup was fish soup. It smelled good. He called Wang Wan to eat together, and also added a bowl and chopsticks for Luobin. Luobin did not refuse. He picked up the chopsticks and spoon and ate a mouthful of each dish and soup. Then he rarely ate the dishes and ate the rice in his bowl. When Zhang Xiaobao and Pan were almost done eating and slowed down, Luobin began to speak. Young master, His Majesty asked me to ask you too, why did you want to play Kuju? The generals asked about the military examination in the imperial court. Zhang Xiaobao and Weiwei smiled. The news spread quickly. They picked up a cucumber stick and chewed it. After swallowing it, they said, "Tell His Majesty that it is not only Kuju, but also the shuttlecock that is often played in the palace. The skating and the skating rink, and so on are classified as sports. I will pay more attention in the future. Because sports is not only for fun. It can also reflect the general situation of a country. Countries that are in war all year round cannot develop their sports. If they want to play well, they must first have a safe environment." Luobin listened attentively, trying his best to remember every word so that he could reply word for word when he got back. After Zhang Xiaobao finished, he asked from his own perspective, "Little Gongzi, are there other things you can see from sports?" Zhang Xiaobao nodded in appreciation. "Yes, you can see how the people live from sports. There are bicycles in the palace, but they are not available in other places. It is too extravagant. If one day, every county in the Tang Empire can have their own bicycle racing team, what does that mean? It means that the industrial technology of the Tang Empire has reached a certain level. It is easy to own bicycles." Luobin responded quickly. He had been a messenger for many years and worked hard to understand the situation of the Tang Empire. He really knew a lot. Yes, if there are many people playing polo, it means that there are too many horses and Kuju in the Tang Empire. It is easy to see many people competing in different places. And there are many people watching. This means that the people of the Tang Empire have become richer. At least, they don't have to spend all their time eating and dressing. When you go back and tell His Majesty will understand. In the future, we can invite more sports teams from other countries to compete. If we win, it will boost the confidence of the people of the Tang Empire. It will also give the people of other countries a lack of confidence. No one can stand losing all the time. Zhang Xiaobao explained in detail. Luobin thought for a while and admitted, "Yes, young master is right. If the people of any country completely accept defeat, it means that they don't even have the heart to compete with the people of the Tang Empire. That is what young master said to His Majesty before. When a nation widens the gap with another nation, it is part of the result. That's about it. When you go back, tell His Majesty that if he has nothing to do, he can form a team and play with us. The martial arts examination has passed the first month. We are almost done with other things." After Zhang Xiaobao finished speaking, he casually chatted for a while, and then sent Luobin out. He believed that Li Longji's football team would not be too bad. He would be able to see a relatively exciting game. The next day, at around 10 o'clock in the morning, Zhang Xiaobao, Wang Wan, and Xiao Bei came to the factory outside the city. Today's field had been renovated yesterday. The soil was first loosened and then compacted. The stones were picked out so that people could step on them without being too soft. Even if they fell, they would not be seriously injured. Only the players of the always victorious team were on the field. The others did not come. Although they also wanted to see Zhang Xiaobao's internal training, they did not dare to. The players were all full of energy. The people who played the game yesterday did not show any signs of fatigue. This showed that they usually trained a lot and were used to it. When Zhang Xiaobao came, he did not talk much nonsense. He directly took a ball from the basket next to him and tiptoed to the field. After looking around, he waved to player number 6. When he came close, he said, "You take the ball and rush forward. I will stand in front of you to block. You find a way to get past me. Got it?" Number 6 took 2 deep breaths and nodded, indicating that he got it. Zhang Xiaobao kicked the ball to him and stepped back 10 steps. He emphasized, "Don't worry about hurting me. Try to show your skills as much as possible, so that I can continue to teach you skills." Number 6's expression relaxed this time. He stopped the ball, stepped back 5 or 6 steps, started a run-up, and then swung his leg and kicked the football with all his strength. With a bang, the football flew high, over Zhang Xiaobao's head, and fell into the distance. It passed. Number 6 said to Zhang Xiaobao's shocked expression. The ball passed. What about you? Zhang Xiaobao asked after he recovered. Chapter 984. Hearing Zhang Xiaobao's words, Number 6 understood. He wanted both the ball and the person to pass. He switched to a new ball and placed it a dozen steps away from Zhang Xiaobao. He stepped back again. Without waiting for the ball to start, Zhang Xiaobao said, Let me say this first. Don't think that if you kick the ball so high, you can run in front of me to chase the ball. That way, I will definitely reach the ball before you. And I have to tell you, when I play in the future, one of my teammates will appear a certain distance behind me. If you really kick the ball far away, even if I don't chase, you won't be able to catch up. Of course, if it's a game and I'm a defender, I won't give you the chance to position the ball unless it's a foul. Don't expect to be able to easily kick the ball. Oh. Number 6 further understood that Zhang Xiaobao was not competing with him in terms of speed. He wanted him to use the same method as yesterday to trick people. Since that was the case, there was no need for a run-up. He stood behind the ball and looked at Zhang Xiaobao. He kicked forward little by little. When he was about 6 steps away from Zhang Xiaobao, he suddenly swung his leg back to make a shooting pose. He paused for about half a second before his right leg fell. However, it was the back of his right foot that pushed the ball away. When he looked up at Zhang Xiaobao again, Zhang Xiaobao's position had moved. Wei Wei moved half a step to the left. Her upper body relaxed and her legs were slightly bent. Number 6 had to repeat the action again. Zhang Xiaobao still moved half a step. Little Gongzi, why don't you come and steal it? Number 6 asked helplessly. Because I'm not stupid. There's not enough time for me to tackle the ball. I just need to make you unable to pass. There's no need to steal. Otherwise, I'll lose my position and the teammates behind me will be in danger. Zhang Xiaobao said loudly to Number 6. In fact, he was saying this to everyone except for Wang Wan. Number 6 was even more helpless. He lowered his head and thought for a moment. Then he took a deep breath and lightly tapped the ball in front of him. Suddenly he sped up, his eyes fixed on Zhang Xiaobao's leg. Just when he thought that Zhang Xiaobao would rush forward to snatch the ball, he found that Zhang Xiaobao was retreating with small, quick steps. Suddenly, he felt that the distance he had imagined to break through had changed. He hesitated, but his body was still charging forward. At this moment, Zhang Xiaobao suddenly stretched his right foot forward, his body leaning back to the ground. Before Number 6's foot touched the ball, he first tackled the ball. With his hand on the ground again, he got up and dribbled the ball away, directly shoveling the ball for Number 6. Wow, big brother is amazing. Xiao Bei cheered for her brother, who was covered in mud. Wang Wan rubbed her feet on the ground. She was afraid that Zhang Xiaobao would bruise himself. This was not a lawn. Fortunately, there were no large grains of sand on the ground, and Zhang Xiaobao was wearing pants. Again. Zhang Xiaobao kicked the ball back. Use your brain to play football. Don't think that others will do as you think. How would I know that I can still retreat? Number 6 muttered. Once again, he prepared to dribble the ball past people. Calculating what Zhang Xiaobao would do, he walked forward little by little. When he walked to a certain distance, Zhang Xiaobao stepped back again. Number 6's eyes turned. He first made a feint to shoot the ball, then made a poke motion. It was still a feint. Suddenly, he kicked the ball diagonally to the left with his right foot and started to chase. However, this time, Zhang Xiaobao did not move to the left at all. Instead, he turned around and blocked Number 6 behind him. He caught the ball first and snatched it under his feet. Xiao Bei's cheers naturally came from the side of the field. Little Gongzi, why didn't you move to the left this time? Number 6 was depressed. Because your shoulders didn't move, so your center of gravity also didn't move. Even if you're making a feint, you have to make it more realistic. Again, Zhang Xiaobao kicked the ball over. No, Little Gongzi, you can pass me. I can also make you unable to pass. Number 6 felt that the defending side had the advantage on the field, so he passed the ball back. intending to save some face. Xiao Bei asked his sister beside him. Brother is attacking. Can he pass? At that moment, Wang Wan knew that Zhang Xiaobao still had some skills that he had not shown to her. Based on the two actions of grabbing the ball and reaction speed just now, Zhang Xiaobao had at least a period of professional practice. Therefore, she said to Xiao Bei with confidence, in theory, the attacking side can use more than 10 methods to pass people. I just don't know how many your brother has mastered. Let's see. Oh, so many? I think my brother can use at least 3. Xiao Bei really wanted to say that his brother could use all of them, but he was worried that his words would be too full of himself. Zhang Xiaobao also placed a distance of more than 10 steps. He first asked number 6 if he was ready. The moment number 6 agreed, Zhang Xiaobao suddenly moved. He first kicked the ball a distance of more than 4 meters, and at the same time, his body's speed also approached that of a 100-meter dash. Then his left foot kicked the ball to his left, and his body suddenly went around number 6's left side. Before number 6 could react, the ball had already passed him. Xiao Bei, this is the simplest way to break through. When the forward dribbles the ball and rushes up, all the defenders can only do 2 actions. One is to retreat, not giving the forward a chance to break through their defensive position, and limit the forward's angle of shooting. Wang Wan also said loudly to her sister. Other people might not understand the logic behind it just by looking. What's the other action? Xiao Bei asked very cooperatively. Foul. Don't hesitate to use any means to bring down the forward. Once the forward with both speed and skill dribbles the ball and rushes up, even if there are 3 defenders facing him, no one will dare to easily intercept the ball. It's best to pull him down and slow him down. If you can avoid tackling, don't tackle. Wang Wan continued to explain. Number 6 on the field was stunned. It was too fast. He stood there and gasped for breath. Little Gongzi, you're close. Put the ball further away and bring it over. I'll definitely be able to stop it. Put it more than 25 steps away. Are you sure you want me to put it further away? Zhang Xiaobao asked. Yes. Number 6 nodded vigorously. Okay, I'll let you see what it looks like if it's further away. Zhang Xiaobao held back his laughter and put the ball about 25 steps away from number 6. Wang Wan was on the sidelines. It's over. Didn't number 6 hear what I said just now? Xiao Bei and the others didn't completely understand why they couldn't let the forward rush up. At the same time, they watched curiously. Zhang Xiaobao himself took another 10 steps back. He pulled up his pants and accelerated forward. When his feet touched the ball, his speed was even faster than before. At the same time, his upper body began to swing left and right. His 2 legs were wide apart. Every time he touched the ball, he would adjust his posture. When he quickly approached the retreating number 6, his body suddenly swayed to the left. The range was very large. Number 6 hurriedly blocked to his right. The result was needless to say. Zhang Xiaobao swayed to the right and passed over the ball. Number 6 wanted to go back, but the result was that he fell down with a thud. This is called the pendulum pass. You've all seen the clock. It's made long ago. When the body swings, it's like a pendulum, making it impossible for the defender to accurately judge. In fact, there's no way to judge at all. They can only guess. If they happen to be able to block it, it's luck because the attacker's pendulum movement isn't fixed and can be adjusted at any time. Wang Wan continued to be the commentator. As everyone listened, their eyes widened. It could actually be done like this. Zhang Xiaobao continued. This time, although he didn't swing as violently, he was still swinging. Then he would step over the ball with his left foot, and then step over with his right foot. Number 6 watched. He couldn't tell which foot Zhang Xiaobao was going to use to move the ball. In the end, he was swayed and fell down. This is called cycling. It looks very simple, but it's not easy to practice because it's hard to control your rhythm and speed. Every feint can become a real move. It just depends on how the defender reacts. Wang Wan's role hadn't changed. She was still introducing. Again. Slow down a little. I can definitely block it. Number 6 was passed again and again. Each time it was different. He was very unconvinced. Okay. This time, Zhang Xiaobao's speed wasn't as fast, but it wasn't slow either. He rushed over with the ball. When he was close to number 6, his left foot pulled the ball back, and his body turned halfway to block number 6. His right foot dribbled the ball, and his body continued to turn. His left foot kicked the ball past number 6. This is called the Masai, a Xiaobao spin. It's a method of forcefully breaking through the body's blocking position. Wang Wan hesitated for a moment. In the end, she didn't say the real name of this move. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to explain it. Again. Number 6. This is called the tail flick. It's a move to confuse the opponent. First, you move the ball in one direction, usually the outer instep. Then you use the inner part of your foot to flick the ball in the opposite direction. Wang Wan. Again. Number 6. This is called the turn around to flick the ball. You have to be careful. If your reaction is slow, it's easy for the opponent to turn around first. The key is to lean as hard as possible so that the opponent can't adjust his balance. Wang Wan. Again. Number 6. This is called the back flick the ball. It's one foot in front of you and one foot behind you. Then, you flick the ball from your back to your front, which is the back of the defender. Then you circle around him. If the opponent is taller or more agile than you, it's best not to use this move. It's too obvious. Wang Wan. Again. This is called, on the field, Zhang Xiaobao used different moves to circle around number 6 again and again. Wang Wan patiently explained it to everyone. Xiao Bei and the others were dumbfounded by what they saw and heard. It was just dribbling the ball around a person. There were so many moves. It was an eye-opener. As the commentator, Wang Wan had her eyes wide open. She did not expect Zhang Xiaobao to be able to execute every move so smoothly and naturally. Although there was also the cooperation of defender number 6, Zhang Xiaobao had indeed executed them in a very standard manner, just like a textbook. Only standard movements could be easily learned, but improvisation was another matter altogether. When Zhang Xiaobao made a sudden stop and changed direction movement to shake number 6, he finally stopped and said, "That's about it. I'm a little stupid, so I don't know much. Later, I'll do a few more slow moves. Once everyone learns it, you have to practice diligently. Don't stick to the form. You have to be flexible. Not only can you do it yourself, but you also have to be able to see if others are going to do it." That's it for today. I'll do a few slow moves for everyone. Next time, we'll talk about the key points of formation and individual positions. The players were so shocked by Zhang Xiaobao's humble words that they wanted to find a rope to hang themselves on. One by one, they bowed their heads and stood respectfully. They watched Zhang Xiaobao practice the slow moves over and over again. They secretly swore to themselves that once they learned it, they would be able to win glory for the ever-victorious team. Wang Wan watched from the side and said worriedly, "Don't think about practicing all the moves smoothly at once. Practice selectively according to your own conditions. If you practice one move well, it will be enough for you to make waves on the field. The most important thing is the basic moves. Xiaobao, go back and write a training plan." Xiao Bei and the other 9 people watched excitedly. Even Jun Air and Pan Air were affected by the atmosphere. They found a ball and chased after it, giggling from time to time. "We have to close off the training," Zhang Gang suddenly said. Xiao Bei and the other 8 people nodded quickly. Xiao Bei said, "Yes, close off. We can't let others learn it. These are the moves that Big Brother taught us. It's amazing. Reselect the substitutes and let them play blindly with others first. When our training here is done, I'll let them see the power of our ever-victorious team." When number 6 heard Xiao Bei's words, he immediately promised, "We will be on the ever-victorious team in the future. If we really leave one day, we promise not to spread the news and not to play for other teams." The other players also promised. They felt their own insignificance. Even if the ever-victorious team did not look for them, they could just find a random team to play for and nurture them. They already had so many skills just to pass people. There were also defensive skills that had not been taught. There were also the skills of setting up the formation. With so many skills taught to them, if they leaked it, it would be a betrayal. Even if Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan did not teach them a lesson, they would still be criticized behind their backs. Their expressions made Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan not know what to do. They did not care if someone leaked the skills. It was not industrial or agricultural skills. In sports competitions, there was never a winning strategy. If there was an undefeated strategy, then there was no competition. If there was no competition, then there was no defeat. The purpose of the competition was to win. The spirit of sports was to work hard and cooperate. Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan never thought that the spirit of sports was health and peace. That was definitely a lie. In the beginning, the various sports were related to war, such as long-distance running and polo. One was the transmission of information, and the other was the application of weapons and horsemanship. There were also discus, javelin, shot put, bow and arrow shooting, and so on. However, later on, everyone knew how to do and say different things, so a part of the projects that were not directly aimed at war were derived. However, the essence of its creation did not change. The two felt that it was not good to always win in their own country. When the time came, other people would not play with them, but they could not directly tell the team members. They could go and talk about it. If they revealed the skills, wouldn't that be pouring cold water on them? They could only hope that other teams would be smarter and learn after seeing it. At noon, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had a working lunch with the team members. It was a lunchbox, not a lunchbox. Zhang Xiaobao specially asked people to prepare wine. When everyone was seated, he raised his glass first. Seeing that everyone is so enthusiastic, I would like to toast to everyone. You have to work hard to train and study skills. Cheers. The players were very excited. They raised their glasses and drank. Today, not only did they learn skills, but they could also eat with Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan. They usually ate with the emperor. But Zhang Xiaobao said again when everyone finished drinking. As soon as these two words came out, the team members became serious. However, you can only drink one glass of wine. In the future, you are not allowed to drink at ordinary times, and you are not allowed to drink too much. Our team wants to develop professionally. From tomorrow onwards, your work and rest time, what you eat, and the amount of training will be strictly limited. Every 7 days, you will be given a day off. In the absence of a game, you will go home to see your parents. If you are married, you will see your wife and children. I will give you a bottle of wine. You can drink at most 1 bottle. Remember to bring the glass bottle back. When Zhang Xiaobao's hand reached here, everyone laughed. Wang Wan added, Bei Bei and the others will arrange a place for you to sleep and train alone. You are not allowed to gamble in the dormitory, and you are not allowed to go out to find or call the women in the brothel. Bei Bei and the others will prepare everything for you, including underwear, shoes, and so on. There will also be a lot of wages. You have to spend the rest of your time on training, or thinking about your skills. If you are bored, we will arrange entertainment for you. You are not allowed to sneak out to show off to other women. The real time to show off is when you score a goal on the field, when you intercept and save the opponent's tricky ball. The shouts and cheers of the audience on the field will be more pleasant than the moans of women. The players did not dare to laugh at this time. Some of them had done such things before. After playing the game, they would go to the brothel to brag. As a woman, Wang Wan's words could be understood as a threat. This was because she had another name, Demon Fiend Cuckoo. One by one, they put down their chopsticks and sat there, not daring to move as they listened to the lecture. Bei Bei saw that there was an awkward silence and very sensibly interjected. Drink another glass of wine. It is not very strong. I only drank it in a daze. If you think that the requirements are too strict, you can leave after eating. I will give you more money. Everyone shook their heads. If they left such an opportunity, they would regret it for life. Since you are not willing to leave, I am very happy. Bei Bei still spoke like an adult. What I want to say is that my brother and sister are involved. You represent the face of the Zhang family and the Wang family. You can lose the game. I allowed you to lose the first 3 games because I saw their hard work in training. What's my name again? Oh, I remember. Even if you lose, you have to lose with dignity. I am willing to lose because my strength and luck are not as good as yours. I don't want to lose because you did not train hard. That will make me very angry, and the consequences are very serious. Xiao Yuan added. Let me say it. Bei Bei glared at Xiao Yuan. The players could not help but laugh again. After lunch, they rested for a while. In the afternoon, Zhang Xiaobao continued to talk about the techniques of dribbling the ball past people. It was just the movements, not the psychology, coordination, and so on. Those content had to be taken slowly. For the next few days, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had been busy with other things in the morning, and came to train in the afternoon. Their progress was very fast, but the team members did not understand. They just wanted to let them have a concept first. Half a month later, Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had more or less settled everything. They planned to have a military examination with the generals, and then go to the original Turkic Khaganate. Li Longji sent someone to deliver a message. Xiaobao, they said that they want to play a game with us first before having a military examination. Wang Wan said to Zhang Xiaobao while holding a piece of paper with words written on it, or what was called a letter of challenge. Zhang Xiaobao was very surprised. Haven't they been anxious to compete? Now that we are competing, they want to wait a little longer. This shows that they are smarter. If they really agree to compete directly, their momentum and mentality will be at a disadvantage. A game is to tell us that they are not anxious, to let us understand that we cannot steal the will of a general, and that we cannot steal the courage of an ordinary man. Do you want to compete? Wang Wan smiled and shook the piece of paper as she spoke. Compete? I can even guess why they want to compete. It's probably because they see that winning and losing is very common for us, so they came up with a method to beat us. Then they can enter the military examination and suppress us in terms of momentum. That's fine too. I want to see what kind of formation they can come up with. Zhang Xiaobao did not care at all. The team that had participated in the competition recently was the substitute team that had been recruited. The main team was currently in closed-door training. Although the time was short, it was still longer than the time the generals had to prepare. Fine, let's compete. Wang Wan wrote a reply to the letter of challenge. Li Longji received the letter of challenge. In truth, he also wanted to win once. He just happened to discuss with the generals and came up with a formation that he felt was very good. The next day the competition began. Real lawn, the Senongsi had been forced to make it. They had sent horses to the south to bring back the soil and raise it in a large shed. This was Zhang Xiaobao's initial idea, and it just happened to come in handy. The grass was indeed not very formal, but it was still a lawn after all. Even if it froze to death after one use, it was worth it. Platforms were set up around the field. There were many spectators, all wearing thick clothes. The generals surrounded Li Longji and led the team into the field. In order to reduce the burden, they had dressed the team in thin clothes. They had previously understood the situation of the always victorious team and were full of confidence. But when the always victorious team appeared, Li Longji was stunned. He did not recognize any of them. Could it be that the portrait was not accurate? He had already understood everyone, so why was it not the same? The generals were also stunned. The always victorious team was wrapped in thick clothes. It did not look like they were here to compete, but to see who wore more clothes. Could it be that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had given up? This time, Zhang Xiaobao became the commentator and started talking nonsense. While he was talking nonsense, the members of his own team started warming up. First, they put on their clothes and did some exercises. Then, they took off their clothes, revealing their trousers and short sleeves. Each of them was wearing knee pads and leggings, and the shoes on their feet were different from usual. Li Longji and the generals started to feel uneasy. They could feel a different temperament from the members of the two teams. Everyone on his side was arrogant and acted like they were the best in the world. On the other hand, the other side was very calm and did not show any signs of arrogance. They were quietly and seriously doing all kinds of exercises. Leisure, the situation doesn't look good. Li Longji could feel the pressure coming from the always victorious team from the stands. It was an aura that could only be felt from the vigorous protection team and the Golden Guards. To be precise, they were as immovable as mountains. Gao Lisher nodded repeatedly. Your Majesty, are we still going to compete? Yes. I and the generals have come up with a special formation. Are you afraid of them? Li Longji was looking forward to the formation helping them win. As such, the members of the two teams stood in the middle of the field and greeted the audience first. Then they played a coin toss. Both teams got into formation. Zhang Xiaobao's team got the ball, while the other team got the field. The other team got into position first. Needless to say, the goalkeeper only had one position. As for the other 10 players, 8 of them rushed to the front while the other 2 stayed near the goalkeeper, forming a 208 formation. This was much better than the previous formation where all 10 players rushed forward together. Li Longji and the generals had researched this formation together. It had both offense and defense. But when the always victorious team got into position, they were really confused. There were 4 players at the back, 5 in the middle, and 1 in the front. The 1 in the front was the number 6 player, and the 5 in the middle were on the left and right. Wei Wei was in a forward position, and looked like she was ready to assist at any time. Chapter 985. When Li Longji and the other generals saw the ever-victorious formation on the field, their hearts skipped a beat. Then they realized the beauty of it. Everyone knew how to set up a formation, and they could tell by looking at the formation. Of course, for Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, the other side only knew a thing or two. Zhang Xiaobao did not want to set up a 4-5 formation. He really wanted to set up a 3-3-4 formation. But whether it was the defensive or offensive players, their skills did not meet the requirements. So he could only choose a formation with stronger midfielders and defenders. When the time came, they could win through changes. Especially at the beginning, the midfielders had to withstand the pressure. He estimated that Li Longji would be able to set up a 50-5 formation with a balance of offense and defense. He did not expect the situation on the field to be like this. He was a little regretful. If he had known, he would have put 2 defenders in a 3-4-3 formation. 3 forwards against 2 defenders. That would be a piece of cake. However, Wang Wan felt that it was okay. At least the midfielders could support at any time. If number 6 played well, it would be too difficult for 2 defenders and a goalkeeper to stop him. Zhang Xiaobao taught him the moves to bypass people. Any number 6 could perfectly grasp them. It would be too easy for him to score a goal. Wang Wan was only worried about Zhang Xiaobao's voice. Because Zhang Xiaobao said that he wanted to commentate for real this time. The so-called real commentary was not understanding the situation. It was just 2 people talking in the vernacular. The vernacular was a bunch of nonsense to show how knowledgeable they were. It showed how much they understood football. No, it was a way to understand the situation on the field, just by listening to the commentator's words. It was a very old way. It was so old that there were no televisions and only radio. But that was real commentary. It could move the audience's emotions and not force the people watching the game to turn off the sound. Will brother be tired? Xiao Bei was also very worried. Yes, but it will definitely be exciting. Your brother pursues perfection. He will definitely not be unable to keep up with the commentary, and then mention how his grandfather was. He will also not make an obviously wrong argument, and then shamelessly change his words when he finds out that the facts are different from what he said. Wang Wan scolded the previous commentator in her heart for spouting so much nonsense during the competition. She started talking to Xiao Bei. Sure enough, Zhang Xiaobao began to use the most basic of explanations to express himself. He spoke very quickly, but also very clearly. The victorious team kicked off. Number 5, who was standing in the center circle, passed the ball directly to number 9 on the opposite side. Number 9 took the ball and passed through 4 people on the other side to number 6's feet. Number 6 received the ball and broke through. Number 6 broke through the last 4 of the 8 strikers on the other side. Dribbling and attacking. Number 6 was attacking. The 8 opposing forwards were turning around to chase. The opposing back, number 11, had already approached. Number 12, as the back, was still hesitating. Number 11 approached. Number 6 made a feint to the left. Number 11 rushed to his right. Number 6 took advantage of this opportunity to dribble the ball past number 11's left. The opposing defender, number 12, started to tackle the ball, and fell to the ground to tackle the ball. He actually knew how to fall to the ground to tackle the ball. Number 6 jumped up with the ball between his legs and dodged. Was this the legendary Toad jumping over people? Beautiful. Number 6 was already facing the opposing goalkeeper. The goalkeeper pounced towards number 6. Number 6 pulled to the right and raised his leg to shoot. When he was about 20 meters away from the goal, he raised his leg and shot. The ball flew straight towards the top right corner of the goal. It spun, absolutely spun. The ball went in. Number 6 single-handedly broke through, passing through 4 forwards and 2 defenders. Facing the goalkeeper, he successfully scored a goal. Following Zhang Xiaobao's fast and passionate commentary, the entire stadium stood up and cheered like a tide. Li Longji also stood up and waved his fists with all his might. He was waving his fists for the individual skills of number 6 of the victorious team, as well as for Zhang Xiaobao's commentary. At this moment, he finally felt the charm of Kuju. This was the elegance of taking the head of the enemy's general on the battlefield. Number 6's continuous breakthroughs were so beautiful that it made people unable to suppress the surge of emotions in their hearts. After waving his fists, Li Longji finally realized that it was the opposing team that had scored, not his team. He could only sit back down and say to Gao Lishir, who had stood up and was still in a daze. Lishir, we lost the first goal. Sit back down. We know that your adopted son is good, and that daughter-in-law of yours is also good. You don't have to stand there and let the wind blow on you. Gao Lishir was really excited. When the victorious team formed a 4-5 formation, he started to get excited. When the 10 of them stood in front, it gave people a pleasing feeling. When he saw number 6's strong breakthrough and his adopted son's passionate commentary, the instant the ball went in, he hated that he couldn't rush to his adopted son's side and give him 2 big kisses. It was too beautiful. In Xiao Bei's words, it was too handsome. This was his adopted son and daughter-in-law. They were a pair of swords and could do anything. They could play Kuju so brilliantly. If the 2 of them were serious, they would be invincible and invincible. It was a kind of feeling that people would never doubt. It was a kind of, His Majesty seemed to have lost. Gao Lishir found a very important problem, and sat back down to Li Longji's side. He said insincerely, Luck, Your Majesty, they were lucky. We don't care. Whether it's luck or ability, it's a manifestation of ability. Look at the victorious team. Our 10,000 generals team has started. When Li Longji spoke, his eyes were fixed on number 6 of the victorious team. How could he run so fast? Why did the ball he kicked have a curve when he shot? How would the goalkeeper defend? Zhang Xiaobao was very responsible. He didn't have any biased thoughts and just explained objectively. When the opposing 10,000 generals team kicked off, they were still surging with passion. Now let's go back to the midfield. The 10,000 generals team that lost a goal will kick off. Our 8 forwards of the 10,000 generals team have already stood in position. Looking at the momentum, there is a faint pressure on the victorious team that has scored a goal. When the ball kicked off, number 21 of the 10,000 generals team raised his leg and passed the ball to number 15 of the other team. Number 15 dribbled the ball to attack. Number 1 of the opposing team intercepted. Number 15 was the captain. Number 15 kicked the ball forward, and the ball passed through number 1 of the opposing team. Number 15 chased after it. Just as he was about to catch up, number 20 of the opposing team received the ball first. Number 20 dribbled the ball to attack from the backfield. The 8 forwards of the 10,000 generals team rushed up. Number 15 was the closest. He was about to touch number 20 of the opposing team. Number 20 of the opposing team passed the ball back to the goalkeeper at the crucial moment. The goalkeeper received the ball and didn't stop. He kicked the ball and the ball flew to the left side of the midfield of the victorious team. The left midfielder was number 14 of the victorious team. Number 14 stopped the ball. Was he going to dribble the ball to attack? No, he didn't. He immediately passed the ball to number 6 in front of him. Because there was no one around number 6 to defend, the ball was passed to the back. Number 6 didn't jump up and try to catch the ball with his head. Instead, he turned and accelerated. Number 6 was still accelerating. The ball flew in front of him and immediately reached the opposing team's penalty area. Number 12 of the opposing team came out this time. Number 12 once again made a tackle action. What would number 6 do? What would he do? Oh, he raised his foot to receive the ball. The ball stopped. He actually used his left foot to receive the ball and stopped it. Beautiful. The opponent's number 12 slipped by himself. He slid far away. He was running too fast just now and couldn't stop. Wow. Number 11 came out. The first defender to come out just now rushed out. What was he going to do? He actually raised his leg to kick the head of number 6 of the victorious team. No. 6 bowed his head and dodged. He continued to dribble the ball forward. Once again, he faced the goalkeeper. Number 6 shot the ball, upper left corner. Oh. Faint, he retracted his foot. The goalkeeper fell to the ground. Number 6 took another step forward. Adjusting, yes, he was adjusting. The right foot pushed inside. The ball went in. The ball went in again. The always victorious team's number 6 scored again. Hello audience friends. Now on the field is a match between the victorious team organized by the Tang Dynasty's Inspector Zhang Xiaobai and the 10,000 Generals football team organized by the Tang Dynasty's generals. The current situation is that less than a quarter of an hour after the start of the match, the victorious team is leading 2 o'clock. They are temporarily in the lead. Number 6 of the team has scored 2 goals in a row. After Zhang Xiaobao finished speaking, he wiped his sweat. The audience was still cheering, and accompanied by the applause that they had learned from Zhang Xiaobai and Wang family. Applause sounded everywhere. Countless girls shouted number 6. At this moment, the teams that had won and lost against the victorious team in the past half-month also understood that the other team was not playing with them seriously. The strong players were only on the field today. The formation was already in place. This was the real strength of the victorious team. All the generals stared with their eyes wide open. What kind of mess was this? It was fine when the other team was attacking, but why did it become the other team's goal after a few moves? While many people were happy, Xiaobei could not take it anymore. He stood up and walked over to Li Longji angrily. He pouted and asked, "Uncle Emperor, let me ask you, is it a battle or a soccer match? If you say battle, I will immediately change the player. I will change the player for the seedling protection team. If you say soccer, you can change the player and change number 11 from your side. I will not count as your substitution. If you don't have the ability, then don't play. Why do you have to play dirty? Who isn't raised by their parents? Is there a need to kick someone to death? If you really want to do that, can we just admit defeat? We won't play anymore." Li Longji's face turned red from Xiaobei's words. He had also seen the actions of number 11 from his side. It was too embarrassing. If the ball was really flying in the sky, you could just raise your leg and kick it. The problem was that when number 6 was dribbling, the ball was below. You kicked it above your head. Are you a sore loser? Stop. Li Longji could not stand Xiaobei's gaze, and he could not convince himself. He shouted, and someone immediately used the microphone to stop the match. Li Longji reached out for the microphone and said, "Number 11 from the 10,000 Generals team, get off the field and give him 20 lashes. In the future, you are not allowed to touch Kuju. If someone else comes up, you can make a technical foul or accidentally touch someone. But I don't want you to cross the bottom line of morality." Number 11 from the 10,000 Generals team got off the field. He did not roll off the field by himself, but was dragged off by someone else because his legs were weak. The emperor had personally said 20 lashes. Even if he did not die, he would at least lose a layer of his skin. All the generals had ugly expressions on their faces. They were not afraid of losing the match, but they were afraid of losing their morale. Number 11 had violated the rules. How would Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan view them? If Zhang Xiaobao added that the 10,000 Generals team's players were carefully selected by the generals, when he was commentating, would they still be able to live? Fortunately, the commentator, Zhang Xiaobao, was very professional and did not mock them. Instead, he took a sip of water and explained, "Number 11 from the 10,000 Generals team violated the professional ethics of the game and was personally kicked off the field by His Majesty. The one who replaced him is number 13, a very spirited young man." Let me take this opportunity to explain why the referee did not blow the whistle just now. It was because number 6 from the attacking side had dodged, and the situation was in the attacking side's favor. If he had not dodged, the whistle would have sounded. While Zhang Xiaobao was commentating, Xiaobei ran back into the field, trying to find someone to talk to. In the end, he was kicked out by the referee, so he ran back to Li Longji and snatched the microphone. "I'm Zhang Xiaobei. What happened just now was an accident. His Majesty was not biased. So to the players of the 10,000 Generals team, don't feel burdened. Just play as you should and when you should. Thank you, referee, for not kicking me off the field. Thank you." The audience applauded again and cheered for Xiaobei. Friends in the audience, players on the field, I just heard my sister's voice. She is still so cute and sensible. Just as she said, let's play without any psychological burden. The ball kicked off at halftime. Number 15 from the 10,000 Generals team still dribbled the ball forward. Similarly, number 1 from the opponent came up to fight for the ball. Number 15 did not kick forward this time. Instead, he used his heel to knock the ball back to his own team. He plugged in alone. Number 9 of the 10,000 Generals team received the pass from number 15 and moved diagonally to the left of the attacking side. He wanted to play on the flank, and the other 6 players cooperated with him to rush to the flank. The 2 midfielders of the victorious team chased back. The rightmost midfielder, number 4, was already in position in advance. He made a move to grab the ball. Number 9 swayed past. The right back of the victorious team met him, and the center back made up the position. Number 9 of the 10,000 Generals team suddenly accelerated. His right foot moved horizontally, and he moved horizontally. He got rid of the 2 midfielders of the victorious team. He was still dribbling the ball to break through. He passed the ball. He raised his foot to make a long pass. Oh, the ball flew toward the victorious team's goal, where number 15 of the 10,000 Generals team was. Number 15 received the ball. He got the ball. The referee's whistle sounded. Oh, the side referee raised the flag. Number 15 of the 10,000 Generals team was offside. He ran ahead of time to a place 10 steps behind the victorious team's back, and then received the pass. Zhang Xiaobao's voice was as passionate and nervous as ever. Some of the spectators cheered, while some sighed. All the generals were dejected. They thought they could score a goal, but it turned out that they were offside. No wonder number 15 on their side had taken the ball so easily. The opposing defender was too bad. Why did you run forward? Li Longji frowned and said, I remember now. Kuju is the art of war. It's just that I played it too casually and forgot all about it. A good soldier, such as number 6, with a good formation, has a strong offensive power. Isn't that right, Li Shi? Li Shi? Li Shi, why don't you go sit on the other side? Which side are you on? Gao Li Shi was still in a state of excitement. It was not easy for the 10,000 generals to have a chance, but they were actually offside. It was really too delightful. When he heard the emperor's words, he once again wanted to wake up. He should be sad because the formation was figured out by the emperor and the generals. He had to side with the emperor. Your Majesty, I was too excited just now. I thought number 15 could score a goal. When you said that, I just remembered that he was offside. What a pity. It would be strange if Li Longji believed him. Just as he was about to speak, Zhang Xiaobao's voice sounded again. The ever-victorious team serves. The center back makes a long pass to the left side of the midfield. Most of the 10,000 generals team is still on the right side of the ever-victorious team. They use the speed of a 100-meter dash to the left side. The ball comes to number 14, the left midfielder of the ever-victorious team. He does not pass the ball directly this time. He dribbles the ball forward. Number 6 takes a look and runs diagonally to the middle. Number 4, the right midfielder of the ever-victorious team, who had just returned to defend, also accelerates forward. The 3 of them run toward the opposing ball together. There are no opposing players behind them for a long distance. There are only 2 defenders and a goalkeeper in front of them. The first captain of the victorious team, who was in the center midfielder position, also rushed up, and the center back filled in the middle of the field. From the 4-5 when defending to the 3-3-1 when attacking, The victorious team completed the formation change in an instant. The two defenders of the 10,000 Generals team seem to have a tacit understanding. Number 12 goes out to block number 14, who dribbles the ball forward, while number 13, who is newly brought in, goes to meet number 6, the forward of the ever-victorious team. Number 12 was close, and number 14 passed the ball. With a long horizontal pass, the ball flew to the top of number 6's head. Number 6 squatted slightly. He was about to jump up to receive the ball. No, he suddenly used the momentum to rush forward and blocked the opposing defender, number 13. The ball passed over, and with a curve, the ball flew towards the side of the 10,000 Generals. Here is number 4 of the ever-victorious team. He is still some distance away from the landing point of the ball. He roars to the sky and swings his upper body vigorously. He accelerates and catches up. He does not stop the ball. He swings his leg, and the ball spins toward the goal of the 10,000 Generals team. No, it is flying toward number 6. Number 6 has just completed a reverse offside. Number 13 of the 10,000 Generals team is trying to compete with number 6 for position. Number 6 jumps up first to head the ball. He heads the ball, and the ball flies in the direction of the ever-victorious team. Oh, number 1 of the center back. Number 6 is passing to number 1. Number 1 stops the ball with his chest and dribbles the ball forward. Number 6 gets rid of the opposing defender number 13 and runs horizontally. Number 13 goes to number 1 to grab the ball again. Number 1 passes the ball to number 4, who is running toward the middle. Number 4 shoots. The goalkeeper pounces. Number 6 heads the ball and shoots. He falls down and the ball is held by the goalkeeper. The whistle for the goal sounded. The ball is in. The goalkeeper of the 10,000 Generals team is very good at holding the table. He firmly holds the ball in the goal. The ever-victorious team is now leading the 10,000 Generals team by 3 o'clock. The 10,000 Generals team kicks off again. The ball is suddenly snatched by number 1 of the ever-victorious team and stuffed straight to number 6 in the front. Number 6 receives the ball. He raises his leg. He kicks the ball out of the boundary. Oh, I see. A member of the 10,000 Generals team, number 26, fell to the ground. He holds his leg and falls to the ground. Number 6 of the ever-victorious team saw someone on the sidelines make a gesture and kicked the ball out of the boundary. He gave up an attack. The doctors of Dai Hospital, who are always on standby on the sidelines, entered the field. When Zhang Xiaobao said this, his voice sounded lower. After all, someone is injured. It is not suitable to be too passionate. The doctors made a gesture and said that there is no big problem. It will not affect number 26 to continue to play in the future. Wait a moment. When number 26 is carried out and replaced, the game will continue. When the audience saw that there was no big problem, they shouted again, "Ever victorious, number 6, ever victorious, number 6. The Generals knew that the audience was not saying that number 6 played well, but they were saying that the ever-victorious team had the bearing. The game could have continued, but number 6 did not hesitate to kick away a ball that should have had a chance to score after receiving the gesture from the people on the sidelines. Compared with number 11 of the 10,000 Generals team just now, it could be said that there was a world of difference. Number 6 was the king of the field at this moment, and the ever-victorious team was naturally the king's team. The Generals were almost suffocated by this invisible aura. Bei Bei hugged Wang Wan's arm and said, "Sister, we will definitely win. The players are very good. When the game is over, I decide to double the bonus, okay?" "Okay." Wang Wan nodded. She had to admit that she could not find any fault. It was not because of the victory, but because of the cooperation of the players, number 6's breakthrough, and the assists of the two flanks. In just more than half a month, even if the original players had a little foundation and a breakthrough in personal skills, it was not surprising. The main thing was the change in their formation. Just now, there was no one to command them. They could give people a very normal feeling, turning the 4-5-5 formation into a 3-3-1-3 formation. From a distance, it was very simple. It was just a running position. But from the field, to be able to make such accurate judgments and cooperate with such tacit understanding, It could only mean one thing. Other than sleeping, eating, exercising, and training, the players spent all the rest of their time on studying the evolution of the formation. Wang could even imagine the scene at that time. It must have been the main team and the substitute team gathering, constantly deducing, and then on the field to compare. How much effort did they have to put in to make their performance so natural on the field? Wang admitted that when the left midfielder dribbled the ball and rushed forward to sit on the winger, number 4 on the right immediately followed. She felt that she was not watching the game in the Tang Empire. When the first captain of the center midfielder followed suit, and the center back filled the position, she felt that this was an international football game. It was too sharp and too smooth. She believed that even if the opponent was not the midfielder and center back at that time, her team would still play the necessary cooperation. That kind of awareness was not easy to cultivate. It had only been more than half a month. Could it be that they were thinking about it in their sleep? Such players, not to mention winning, even if they lost with a score of 0-100, they should be rewarded. Sometimes spirit was more important than victory. On the field, Li Longji was also very speechless. He was depressed for a while and said to Gao Lishir, "Lishir, admit it now. The team led by Xiao Bao and Cuckoo is definitely not bad. Whether it is the military, economic, industrial, agricultural, and other teams, as long as they are there, they will definitely be better than others. Do you admit it?" Yes. Your Majesty is right." Gao Lishir was depressed. Who said that he would not admit it? They are my godson and daughter-in-law. You are the ones who want to compete, not me. I have already admitted when Xiao Bao was very young. Otherwise, would I have acknowledged him as my son? He is smarter, and more sensible than Xiao Bei and the others. Why must you always push the blame to me? It's good that you admit it. However, even if you admit it, we cannot weaken our morale. You have to continue to hold the line with the generals. We will go and see Xiao Bei and the others. Xiao Bei was unhappy just now. Number 11 was too much. We will accompany them and talk. Don't worry about our safety. As Li Longji spoke, he got up and walked towards Xiao Bei and the others. A few guards followed beside him, and their eyes were wide open. Gao Lishir could not say anything. He watched as the emperor walked away and sighed. He quietly muttered, "Of course, the subject is not worried. The defense there is only stronger than here. You could have just said that you were going to the winning team. Why did you have to go around in a circle and persuade Xiao Bei? Do Xiao Bei and the others need others to persuade them? They have older brothers and sisters. Can't they persuade them themselves? Could it be that they are going to ask for number 6? That is giving up what is near at hand to seek what is far away. Number 6 was trained by Xiao Bao. The game in the field was still going on. The 10,000 generals team was beaten by the winning team. They did not even have the strength to block, let alone fight back. They were beaten miserably. The 10,000 generals team could not break through the defense line of the winning team at all. Not only did they stand in a good position, but their personal skills were also not bad. They could always play little tricks. Just the habitual action of the defenders when they were attacked made the 10,000 generals team feel very uncomfortable. Because retreating did not mean losing, they could also retreat in order to advance. When the 10,000 generals team did not know how important the position was, the other side had already started to move and fill the position. From the beginning of the midfield, there were obviously 9 people. Why did it feel like they were facing the Great Wall? When the other side attacked, they would definitely press forward with all their strength. It was really overwhelming. The most important thing was that at the beginning of the second half, the 10,000 generals team's physical strength was significantly reduced. It was all because of the passing of the winning team. Seeing the winning team score one goal after another, the generals had no way to do anything. What they admired the most was that the winning team's defenders could assist, but there was never a defender who would ask to shoot to score. After the assist, they would retreat. They did not fight for the glory of scoring. But the generals all understood that on the battlefield, defending one's position was the glory. Of course, they also believed that if that, what was it again called, no, the midfielders and forwards could not score, then the defenders and even the goalkeepers would be able to put up a fight and let the team score. It was like the logistics camp of Ezhou. It was originally a logistics team, but in a situation where they lost, they could only go deep into the enemy's rear and complete the task of being the vanguard. Watching and thinking, the generals could not calm down. After some discussion, the Yuji general Zhao Hanzhong stood up and came to Zhang Xiaobao's side. He first smiled at Zhang Xiaobao, then grabbed the microphone and said, "You may not know, but the real commander of the winning team is Zhang Xiaobao. Do you want to see Zhang Xiaobao go down and play? This general is willing to accompany you." The result naturally did not need to be said. The sound of the audience pierced through the clouds. Zhang Xiaobao was stunned at first, then he smiled and asked indifferently, "General Zhao, do you really want me to go down?" Zhao Hanzhong's heart skipped a beat, but he nodded without confidence. "Yes, I will accompany you." "That's good. Madam, come over and help explain. I will go to the field and accompany General Zhao to play." Zhang Xiaobao waved towards where Wang Wan was. Wang Wan smiled and walked over, taking over the position. When Zhao Hanzhong and Zhang Xiaobao walked onto the field, she advised, "Xiaobao, enough is enough. We have already scored 11 goals. Keep it under 30, okay?" Zhang Xiaobao waved his hand towards the back, replacing a midfielder on the field. He raised his hand and gestured twice. The winning team quickly changed, from 4 to 5 to 4 to 4. Zhang Xiaobao did not stand in the vanguard position. In the vanguard, other than the original number 6, there was also the number 1. He gave the captain's armband to Zhang Xiaobao, and Zhang Xiaobao steadily stood in the center. Wang Wan looked at Zhang Xiaobao's position and began to mourn for him. Chapter 986. Zhao Hanzhong stood in front of Zhang Xiaobao. He couldn't help but feel excited and worried. He hoped that Zhang Xiaobao's skills wouldn't be as good as the midfielder who just went down. He was worried that Zhang Xiaobao would make a mistake and secretly practice. "Xiaobei, tell Uncle Emperor, how's your brother's skills?" Li Longji disregarded the code of brotherhood and sat on the winning side. He asked Xiaobei, who was looking at the situation with a pair of binoculars. Xiaobei put away the binoculars and said uncertainly, He's okay. He should know some basic skills." "Really?" Li Longji was also unsure. "More or less. Uncle Emperor, have you ever seen my brother touch a ball?" Xiaobei tried to find evidence to prove that he was right. "I haven't seen him perform kung fu yet. That time at the sword competition of Mount Hua, he went up like he was flying." "Xiaobei, I think your team's number 6 has a great future. As long as you leave him to me, I'll train him well." "Uncle Emperor, look at the game. It's starting. Look at my brother." Xiaobei once again put the binoculars in front of his eyes and shouted. "A family of smart people," Li Longji said angrily. The game had indeed started. Zhao Hanzhong called the two forwards to his side and imitated the victorious team's formation of a midfielder, forming a 2-3-5 formation. The 10,000 Generals team had lost 11 goals, but number 15 was still in charge of offense. Opposite him was Zhang Xiaobao. He also didn't feel confident, but he still bravely rushed up. He was betting that Zhang Xiaobao had so many things to do every day and couldn't find the time to practice. Zhang Xiaobao saw his opponent's serious expression. Wei Wei smiled and stepped up to meet him. "Cover!" Number 15 shouted. Number 9, who was next to him, quickly ran to his left, ready to receive his pass. Zhang Xiaobao faced the opposing number 15. He stretched his right foot forward and made a hooking motion. Number 15 did not hesitate. He kicked the ball with his left foot and passed the ball towards his own number 9. Zhang Xiaobao's right foot suddenly landed on the ground. His left leg stretched back horizontally. With a bang, the heel of his left foot blocked the pass from number 15. This was the simplest form of blocking. Defensive players would often use it to confuse people by extending their legs in the opposite direction to block the ball. Number 15 was stunned. He had seen Zhang Xiaobao's action just now. He had clearly used his right foot, so he should have been able to pass the ball. Why did he suddenly do that? By the time he wanted to chase the ball, it was too late. Not to mention that he was stunned for a moment. Even if he was not stunned, it was too late. He needed to turn around to chase the ball. Zhang Xiaobao directly started. There were still 3 strikers on the opponent's side. They were a little distance away from number 15. Zhang Xiaobao caught the ball. When the opponent's number 8 stretched out his leg, Zhang Xiaobao gently flicked the ball under the football. He just flicked the ball over the opponent's head. Without waiting for the ball to fall naturally, Zhang Xiaobao rushed forward and jumped. He quickly tapped the ball with his head. His right knee gently pressed and smoothed. His body leaned to the left, just in time to block the opponent's number 17. The opponent's last striker in front of Zhang Xiaobao thought that an opportunity had come. He stretched out his leg. Zhang Xiaobao moved his right foot ahead of time and pulled the ball back to the right. His body continued to lean against the opponent's number 17. He stuck close to the number 17 and completed a 270-degree turn. In the process of turning, his left foot touched the ball. The ball was kicked out. It was an irregular Maasai roundabout. From the beginning of the kick to the head, the knee pad was removed, the right foot came back, and when he completed the turn, his left foot kicked away. Zhang Xiaobao passed 3 opponents in succession. Every movement seemed to be about to let others grab the ball, but he always touched it a little bit earlier. The spectators watching the game went crazy. They watched Zhang Xiaobao's movements from stealing the ball to leaving the 5 people behind him in just a few seconds. The spectators jumped and shouted like crazy. Zhao Hanzhong was dumbfounded. He secretly cursed, "Is he still human?" and braced himself to rush up. Zhang Xiaobao had already sped up. There were still 5 people behind him who wanted to catch up, but it was too late. Looking at the opponent's 3 midfielders, Zhang Xiaobao's feet moved quickly. His body's center of gravity kept changing. He used the dual technique of pendulum passing and bicycling, so that Zhao Hanzhong and the other 2 could not determine what he was going to do. Was he going to pass or pass? Which direction was he going to pass? Where was he going to pass? "General Zhao, be careful." Zhang Xiaobao was getting closer and closer to Zhao Hanzhong. With a shout, his left foot kicked the ball to the left, and his right foot lightly pushed forward. The ball directly passed under Zhao Hanzhong's crotch. Just now, when he saw Zhang Xiaobao kick the ball with his left foot, his right foot moved. He wanted to stop Zhang Xiaobao, but he thought that Zhang Xiaobao passed by his right side, so the ball passed through his crotch. Seeing Zhang Xiaobao pass by his left side, he wanted to turn around, but found that his center of gravity was still on his right leg. He could not use any strength, so he could only turn his head and shout behind him, "Stop him." Then he fell because of this turn of his head. Zhang Xiaobao was facing only one midfielder at the moment. The other one wanted to learn from the always winning team's midfielders and run to the side. Now he could not run back. The midfielder who had the opportunity to intercept was number 20. He saw Zhang Xiaobao break through from so far away, and then passed the ball under Zhang Xiaobao's stride. Then he saw Zhang Xiaobao dribble the ball and rush towards him. A sense of powerlessness suddenly rose in his heart. The only thing he could do was to learn from the other side and retreat. The 2 defenders, number 12 and number 13, did not care about the opponent's number 1 and number 6 positions. They gritted their teeth and came up one after another, intending to cooperate with number 20 to defend. As for who Zhang Xiaobao passed the ball to, they did not care. The most important thing was to not let Zhang Xiaobao pass the ball into the goal from their backfield. Zhang Xiaobao did not have the slightest intention of passing the ball. He quickly came in front of the opponent's number 20 and directly did another Masa spin. He dribbled the ball and rushed towards the last 2 defenders of the opponent. Number 20 could do nothing about Zhang Xiaobao's action. He just pulled Zhang Xiaobao when he turned around, but it did not affect him. When facing number 12, Zhang Xiaobao suddenly slowed down and sat back to pull the ball back. Because number 12 was a little to the left in front of him, the opponent's number 13 was a little to the right. If he pulled the ball to the left, it would be very difficult to pass from the right of number 12, and the opponent's number 13 would be able to run over. As soon as Zhang Xiaobao finished pulling the ball with his left foot, his right foot tapped the ball. The left side of his body was facing number 12. Number 12 and number 13 suddenly had an idea in their minds. He still wanted to use that move, so they moved to their right side together, intending to wait for Zhang Xiaobao to turn around and dribble the ball to directly stop him. But Zhang Xiaobao did not do the masa spin this time. He tapped his right foot and suddenly pushed the ball forward again, leaving the straight line of number 12 and number 13's front defense. His left foot kicked the ball and his right foot kicked the ball again. His body had changed direction and was facing the opponent's goal. When he turned sideways just now, he was facing the opponent's left side. Number 12 and number 13 had just run to their positions and were waiting for Zhang Xiaobao to finish that move so that they could stop him. When they found that Zhang Xiaobao had run so far away from them, the two hurriedly chased back. Number 13 was closer and ran faster. He bit and chased with all his strength. Zhao Hanzhong, who could not catch back in the midfield, shouted, "Foul, foul, the goalkeeper can't stop him." "Ah!" Number 13 shouted. It was unknown whether he was answering Zhao Hanzhong or encouraging himself. He bent down and retracted his hands in front of him. Zhang Xiaobao glanced out of the corner of his eye and was very helpless. He could guess what number 13 was going to do. He must want to do the goalkeeper's save action, but he was going to pounce. Team member Zhang Xiaobao successfully stole the football, broke through all the way, brought the ball to the opposite goal, and kicked a beautiful falling ball. Let us continue to enjoy the game. Wang Wan's eloquence was far worse than Zhang Xiaobao's. Not to mention commentating on football, she had not even sold 13 spice before. She had just wanted to imitate Zhang Xiaobao to commentate once. Unfortunately, she did not know where to start. Zhang Xiaobao's actions were too fast, so she had to keep silent. She could understand, but she could not keep up with the rhythm. After Wang Wan finished speaking, the cheers of the audience gradually subsided. Zhao Hanzhong also reacted. Looking at his own goal, he frowned tightly. He regretted it. If he had known earlier, he would not have let Zhang Xiaobao come up. Was it not enough to have a number 6? Who came up with the idea? It was too much of a scam. Now they had one more main force. No wonder Wang Wan advised Zhang Xiaobao not to take in too much. So this was the reason. Kick the ball out. It's time to kick off. You find your own position and learn from the victorious team. Zhao Hanzhong first shouted to the stunned goalkeeper, and then to the rest of his team. The players of the 10,000 Generals team were really obedient. They also learned the way the players of the victorious team stood. They found the opposite position and set up a 4-4-2 formation. After Wang Wan saw it, she was even more speechless. Have you practiced before? You dare to set up a formation? Do you really think it's okay to stand in a position? That was something that would constantly change. While Wang Wan was cursing in her heart, the game started again. It was still the 10,000 Generals team who kicked off because they had been losing. Number 15 looked at Zhang Xiaobao and was a little scared. As soon as he got the ball, he directly avoided Zhang Xiaobao and ran elsewhere. Zhang Xiaobao really did not chase after him. He just guarded his position. If it were not for his identity, he would not have wanted to score himself. The pressure he was under just now was not small at all. But he understood that he had to do this. He had to play strongly. Giving his team confidence was secondary. His players already knew his ability. The ones who needed to give confidence were the people of Tang Empire. Only an omnipotent Zhang Xiaobao could mobilize the people well and organize them to develop Tang Empire. So no matter how difficult it was, he had to work hard to do it. Just like the construction of Tang Empire. Even if he was tired and had no strength, he would cry with Wang Wan at home when he encountered difficulties. In front of outsiders, he had to be very strong. Of course, it had not reached the point where he and Wang Wan were weary. He should be glad that the officials still had morality in their hearts, that the people could still understand and still be simple, and that the court had not lost its credibility. Zhang Xiaobao was thinking about things in his heart, changing with the team. There was no need to think too much about the situation on the field. It was impossible for the opponent to score, unless the opponent had a very, very strong striker, who could kick a full moon scimitar 40 meters away from the goal. The victorious team intercepted the ball, and was organizing the attack. The ball was passed to Xiaobao's feet, and he was in charge of it. As a commentator, Wang Wan could only explain in a simple way that she looked down on. There was really nothing she could do, but she did not feel ashamed. She had listened to professional commentators in the past in the same way. The audience clearly did not agree with Wang Wan's explanation. With Zhang Xiaobao's explanation in front, the gap was obvious. However, the audience did not make a fuss. They knew that the fairy was in charge of fighting, not being a commentator. Moreover, she had said so many terms, which showed that she usually worked very hard. Just as Wang Wan was weakly explaining, Zhang Fang, who was in Xiao Bei's group, came over. There were only 2 people from the seedling protection team around her. Along the way, the audience made a path for them. What moved Zhang Fang the most was that the audience who made way for them would nervously stare at the people beside them. At this moment, they were the guards of Zhang family and Wang family. Zhang Fang, who was older than Xiao Bei, nodded and smiled at the audience on both sides. She swore in her heart that she would do well with Xiao Bei and deal with bad officials. This was a special kind of care. If any official bullied the people, she and the others would bully that official to death. Otherwise, how could she have the face to accept this kind of treatment? Xiaofang, why are you here? Wang Wan looked at Zhang Fang and asked, Sister, can you let me explain? I can also learn from my brother. Zhang Fang whispered back. Wang Wan's face showed a gratified smile. She nodded and said, Okay, you can do it. Don't be nervous. Say what you want. Don't be afraid even if you say something wrong. Zhang Fang also smiled sweetly and took the microphone. She first tried to say hello before sitting on her sister's lap. She looked at the situation on the field and said, Now the ever-victorious team is organizing an attack again. Xiao Bao in the midfield dribbles the ball forward. The opponent's midfielders come forward to block. The opponent's forwards are also desperately chasing back. The 6 people are about to surround brother Xiao Bao. Xiao Bao passes the ball. The ball is passed to the left side of the ever-victorious team's number 14. The pass is a point forward with a certain arc. Number 14 directly passes the ball forward. He uses the bicycle technique. With a fake move, he shakes the Wanjiang team's midfielder number 20 and continues to dribble the ball forward. Number 6 and number 1 of the forwards are running forward, looking for a suitable position. Number 4 of the midfield on the right side also runs forward under the signal of brother Xiao Bao. Number 14 passed the ball. The ball traversed the entire field and landed at the feet of number 4. Number 4 moved forward and similarly raised his leg to pass the ball. The ball landed at the feet of brother Xiao Bao, who was assisting. Brother Xiao Bao did not continue to pass the ball. He continued to dribble forward. The Wanjiang team's midfielder number 17 and Zhao General ran toward brother Xiao Bao together. The 2 men were ready to join forces to intercept brother Xiao Bao's ball. Xiao Bao did a Xiao Bao spin, and then did a tail swing, relying on the opponent's defender number 12 to pass the ball. He passed a lonely high penalty. The ball went straight to number 14 of the ever-victorious team's left winger. Number 14 stopped for a moment, jumped up and crossed the ball from the air to number 6's head. Number 6 also jumped up, swayed his head, and made a fake move. The ball passed, and number 6 blocked number 13's starting position. It fell to number 1's feet. Number 1 leaned sideways, swung his left leg, and faced the football flying horizontally. He volleyed, and the ball rushed into the Wanjiang team's goal with a whistling sound. It's a goal. Audience friends, the score on the field is now 13 goals in the lead. Brother Xiao Bao showed me the importance of the center midfielder. This position not only needs to defend but also assists. At the same time, it is the soul of the whole team. It is not a marshal, nor a general. It is a general who organizes the team to kill on the battlefield. It can be killed by itself, but it is also necessary to organize the team. Commentator Zhang Fang will explain for you. Zhang Fang's voice resounded on the field. The audience's cheers were also like a tide. They cheered for the goal of the ever-victorious team, and also praised Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan's sister. It was almost as if the audience's eyes were all looking at the commentator's position. Chapter 987. Feeling so many gazes on her, Zhang Fang shyly lowered her head. Wang Wan was also very surprised. Zhang Fang usually didn't like to talk. Why did she suddenly change today? Her imitation of Zhang Xiaobao's way of commentating was too realistic. If it wasn't a girl's voice, people would have thought that Zhang Xiaobao was commentating. On the field, Zhang Xiaobao was also stunned. He turned his head to look at the commentary platform. He didn't expect his sister Zhang Fang's performance to be so outstanding today. The commentary just now, even if compared to his and Wang Wan's era, would make countless commentators who thought they were good feel ashamed. Zhang Fang saw her sister Wang Wan looking at her and explained in a low voice, "That day when brother was teaching the team, I thought it was very interesting. It was the first time I realized that the ball could be played like this. So when I had time, I thought about how brother played the ball. Later, when brother was talking about the formation, I also tried my best to memorize it. I realized that the Kuju field needs the overall cooperation. Even if the team is not very good and has no outstanding players, as long as they cooperate well, they can still win." Then brother brought up the concept of king. I also realized that under the circumstances of good cooperation, the team also needs a soul. He must have the ability to turn the tide in adversity. I've always been thinking about who is the soul of the team and which position he belongs to. I don't understand. Although number 6 played very well, I knew that he wasn't. Only when my brother stood at the center midfielder position did I realize. The center midfielder is the soul. Wang Wan asked. When the two spoke, their voices were very soft, but it was still transmitted to the entire field through the microphone. The game stopped, and the audience became interested and listened carefully. Zhang Fang shook her head. "No, because I know that brother can play any position, even the goalkeeper. I believe that brother can use his wonderful diving to lead the whole team. When brother was organizing the attack, I suddenly felt that the real soul of the team is every position. As long as you perform well, even if you stand outside the field as the commander, you can give the team a strong sense of confidence. I want to say that we should do our part well. For example, Xiao Bei's part is very good, and Xiao Yuan, Xiao Hai, and the others. I'm the same. As long as we do well, we'll be the soul of the team. Therefore, when my brother was teaching, I was looking for my own position. I have been looking for it for a long time. Actually today, I finally understood that I am Zhang Fang. My position is among the 9 patrol inspectors." Wang Wan gently clapped her hands. In an instant, applause came from the audience and the field at the same time. Countless officials who had followed Li Longji here looked at Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan, who was standing beside Zhang Fang, and couldn't help but sigh in their hearts. How could the two of them teach their younger brother and sister to have the innocence of a child, but also to have a way of thinking that wasn't much worse than an adult's? How could they unify two opposing things? Wang Wan followed the topic and said, "Therefore everyone in the Tang Empire is very important. Whether it's a government official, a farmer, a businessman, or a soldier, as long as they find their position, they can also become the soul of the Tang Empire. The pure mutton soup pancake chain store in the West City that sells soup pancakes earns no less money than the Joy House. Last year, the farming king of Wanyan County, the agriculture temple, also came to ask for advice. Just the gifts they prepared for him alone cost 300 strings of coins. There's also Auntie Sue, who sweeps the streets in the capital. In order to let her son use the same broom as her, she invented a broom with a telescopic handle. The Ministry of Works rewarded her family with a courtyard. Her son also connected a dustpan that could be turned back to the garbage truck. The Ministry of Works also used it to add coal to the boiler. Similarly, she also received a lot of rewards. In every industry, as long as you do your job well, you can achieve results. Of course, the key lies in whether the relevant people and officials notice it. However, if the officials don't notice it, it also means that they don't grasp their position well." After Wang Wan explained Zhang Fang's words, she listed out 2 common things as if she was familiar with them. Once again, she won applause from the audience. This was because these things couldn't be made up randomly. They had to go and find out about it regularly. This showed that Zhang Xiaobao and Wang Wan had always been concerned about every little thing. Li Longji was also interested. He also waved to the side and asked for a microphone. He said, "My thoughts are the same. Just like the several degrees ready-made clothes shop beside Vermilion Bird Street, The clothes they make are divided into 3 layers: the inside, the outside, and the outside. The inside and outside can be removed and washed, so the business is prosperous. Another example is the painter in the zoo. He first draws the shape of the animals and leaves the empty space for the tourists to fill in. Then he draws the sugar-blowing figures. The people who make the figures blow their own trumpet, and the buyers don't eat it because they think it's dirty. In the East City, I know of a one-eyed sugar-blowing figure, who often has bamboo pipes for the buyers to blow their own trumpets. Each person has one pipe and changes them one by one. Thus, there are countless buyers. Perhaps it's not easy to make the shapes, but the buyers are happy. Even if they blow the sugar into pieces, they will still be happy. Wow! The applause grew louder. The audience felt that it was worth it to spend money to watch this match. Not only did they get to watch an exciting match, but they also got to hear the exciting commentary. They even got to see Zhang Xiaobao, Wang Wan, and the Emperor, whom they could only look at but not reach, casually talk about trivial matters of the common people. This was the Emperor after all. He even knew about the clothes making and the sugar-blowing figures. Could they say that he didn't care about the common people? It turned out that the Emperor had always been watching them, and was always with them. Don't look at me. I'm not going to play today. Look at me, I'm not going either. Let's talk about it again when I'm able to defend against Xiaobao. The match will continue. The time we wasted just now will be counted into the injury stoppage time. Li Longji was proud of himself, but he still had to show an appropriate amount of humor. As soon as he finished speaking, the audience burst into laughter. On the field, it was still the 10,000 Generals team who started the match. They were already used to it. Zhang Feng's voice also rang out along with the situation on the field. The audience watched, listened, and felt that it was very enjoyable. Those who felt that time passed the slowest, and the most difficult were the generals. That ball only had a chance to cross the opponent's half of the field, and reach the penalty area when their own team kicked off. Except for the kickoff, the football was mostly in their own half of the field at the rest of the time. Zhang Xiaobao, who had just been brought on, was full of energy. He stood in the center midfielder position, and every time he mobilized to attack, there was a high chance that he would score a goal. Although their own team imitated the other team's positioning, they were running around the field blindly. It was not easy to get the ball, so they did not dare to stay at their feet for too long. They needed to pass it out immediately, or else it would definitely be snatched away. One could also see the standard of this pass. The ever-victorious team rarely passed high balls. They basically passed the ball below the head. Only Zhang Xiaobao liked to play long passes. But he was very accurate, and the speed of the ball was also fast. The person who received the ball was very comfortable when receiving it. As they passed the ball was kicked high up. When it fell, the time used was enough for the other team's defender to run back and forth. The ever-victorious team has scored a goal. The ever-victorious team has scored another goal. Such a voice lingered in the ears of the generals, making them annoyed. They could not get up and leave the field angrily. Not to mention what their own team members thought. The emperor was still sitting and watching. Who would dare to leave first? In the last few minutes, the generals did not know how they spent it. When Zhang Xiaobao saw that the referee was about to blow the whistle, he volleyed the ball about 32 meters away from the ball in advance, and sent the ever-victorious team's 29th goal into the opponent's goal. The whistle at the end of the game finally sounded. Ladies and gentlemen, the game between the ever-victorious team and the Thousand Generals team is over. The ever-victorious team beat the Thousand Generals team with an absolute advantage of 29 goals. The Thousand Generals team was not very lucky today, so they did not score a single goal. But I believe everyone has seen their performance on the field. They were very active when they fought for the ball. And they also put in a lot of effort in the running process. Continuous losses did not make them lose their morale. When the last goal was scored, everyone could find that their goalkeeper still used all his strength to save. They did not surrender without a fight, nor did they blame each other. They have been working hard. They are heroes. The commentator Zhang Feng was very sensible and praised the Thousand Generals team. As for the ever-victorious team on her side, the number of goals scored was the best praise. The audience really gave the Thousand Generals team a warm applause. They did not underestimate the members of the Thousand Generals team. They believed that if it was another opponent, they would definitely win, and even win the game with the same big score. They lost because they were not prepared enough. They lost in the hands of the team taught by Xiaobao and Cuckoo. If it were another team, it might not be as simple as losing 29 goals. Which team dared to say that they could play better than the Thousand Generals team? The people of the other teams on the viewing platform were also nervous. After a little comparison, they found that their teams could not beat the Thousand Generals team. As for the ever-victorious team, they could not compare for the time being. The substitutes that the ever-victorious team usually sent to play against their teams were not at the same level as their main team. They were all fooled. At first, they thought that the ever-victorious team was not that good. They had to go back and think about it carefully. Otherwise, they would have to take a detour when they met the ever-victorious team in the future. Zhao Hanzhong limped to the commentary platform. He did not feel uncomfortable on the field, but once he came off the field, his whole body was sore. He had been shaken by Zhang Xiaobao no less than 10 times. There was no other way. When Zhang Xiaobao attacked, he had to work hard to defend. He could stand still and not fall, but it was too embarrassing. So he had to be on guard every time. But for some reason he would always fall. He did not understand why Zhang Xiaobao did not fall when he was shaken so much. When he came to the commentary platform, Zhao Hanzhong said to Wang Wan, "Thank you." Wang Wan did not understand what he meant. Zhao Hanzhong continued, "Thank you for letting Xiaobao keep the number of goals under 30. Otherwise, I would have fallen to my death. I owe my waist. I owe my leg. Is it broken? It hurts. There is not a spot on my body that does not hurt. What should I do?" Wang Wan finally understood what was going on. Zhao Hanzhong had come to question her because she had said that 30 goals were too many, and that was why he had fallen. Alright, she was from the military after all, so she couldn't just watch others suffer. "General Zhao, the doctor will be here in a while. There are a few good medicines where Xiaobei is sitting. Let the doctor give you a massage. Tonight, Savant's restaurant. How about a seafood feast or a mountain feast? You choose." "It's a promise." Zhao Hanzhong instantly felt much better. Savant's restaurant, a set of banquets. What should he eat? Seafood. Crabs did not have yellow or meat in this season. Oysters? There should be bears for mountain delicacies. There were also tigers and deer. Does flying in the mountains and forests count as mountain delicacies? Zhao Hanzhong remembered that he had eaten a few days ago from the north of Hebei province, the Bohai commander-in-chief's office. The taste of the soup was really good. He asked. Yes. Wang Wan nodded. Even if a sea turtle crawls ashore and runs to the side of the mountain, it is also considered a mountain delicacy. If a seagull lands on the cliff, it is also considered a mountain delicacy. Alright. Eat a mountain delicacy. I owe my waist. Where is Xiaobei? Your uncle Zhao is here to see you. Xiaobei, your uncle Zhao is about to be killed by your brother. Zhao Hanzhong was satisfied. He placed his hands on his waist and went to find where Xiaobei was. The medicine there was relatively better. Wang Wan shook her head and left the commentary platform. She went to see Zhang Xiaobao, who was talking to his team members at the side of the field. "Are you tired?" Wang Wan handed him a bowl of water and asked. "It's okay. I will play in the second half after a while." They are tired, especially those who have finished the whole game. The pace of the game is very fast. I guess they need to go back and rest well. Zhang Xiaobao took the water and poured it all over his body. He looked at the exhausted team members who were full of energy, but were still full of energy. The players of the always victorious team who were on the field were panting heavily with a relaxed smile on their faces. Today, they finally proved their value to others. Their physical fatigue, coupled with their mental excitement, made them not have too many other thoughts. They were just happy and were waiting to go back to Xiaobei and the others to take credit. At the same time, they also wanted to thank Xiaobei and the other 9 people. The 9 people chose them, so they had today's victory and the audience cheered for them. The medical team had come to them, put thick blankets on them, and then immediately massaged them. The players of the 10,000 Generals team were treated the same. When they were wrapped in blankets and massaged, someone brought them hot soup and asked them to smoke it instead of drinking it directly. However, they were not particularly disheartened. Today's loss was not unjustified. Their own team could not adapt to the opponent's formation at all, not to mention so many dazzling defensive moves. They were clearly using big swords to deal with guns and cannons. Today's loss was worth it. They learned a lot. Only through contact they knew the gap. When they went back to rest, they could practice according to what they saw. Wang Wan personally massaged Zhang Xiaobao's legs. She looked at the other doctors and said, "It is estimated that in the future, with the prosperity of sports, there will be more doctors in the profession. We have to prepare in advance. It is best to cultivate medical ethics first." Doctors who were not good at medicine were bad people, but doctors with good medical skills but bad morals were even worse. Diseases that could be easily cured, but because the patients believed in them, they delayed the treatment. They kept treating minor illnesses into major illnesses or chronic illnesses. When we earn more money, other than the current pregnant women and very young children, we can also put other people in the list of free medical treatment. This can stop doctors from doing bad things for money. TSK, be gentler. You hate those doctors. Don't vent your anger on my leg. What you said won't work. If we really do as you say, no one will learn medicine. We can't just use morality to ask people. For a doctor's profession, you have to let their income exceed the average income. It doesn't have to be too much, about 10% is good enough. Otherwise, they will feel psychologically unbalanced because they are more tired than usual. For example, a street sweeper is just a little more careful. When he is tired, he can rest. When a doctor is performing an operation, can he rest when he is tired? How much psychological pressure does a gynecologist have to bear? On one hand, it is morality, and on the other hand, it is instinct. Now in the Tang Empire, morality restrains instinct. I hope it will be like this in the future. But when it restrains instinct, it will inevitably have an impact on him, so his income should be higher than the average. Otherwise, he will only treat people who can afford to buy diesel engines and cars every day. He doesn't even have a bicycle. He will doubt his profession. What is the point of living? Zhang Xiaobao grimaced from Wang Wan's pinch, but he still maintained his rationality and analyzed the profession of a doctor. Wang Wan's hand movements became mechanical. Thinking about Zhang Xiaobao's words, she said, "Then we can only increase the tax of people with high income to balance the gap between the country's financial income and subsidies. Because some professions are paid by the country, but for people who earn money with their own abilities, it is not fair. They earn more because they are capable. Why should they pay more tax? Because they are better than others. Just like the businessmen who are contributing in the Chaoyang operation now. You can't use your ideas to replace them. If you ask them if they are willing, many of them are willing. I alone can support all the expenses of a school. Can you? Look at Hongnong County, where Xiaobei and the others went to the school that was flooded. We didn't say that we would let the businessmen keep some of their goods and wait for the school to have something to eat, right? We just want them to be willing. Yes, willing to give some of their goods to the school children. But there, the children can live well with the goods they deliberately left behind. The nutrition is balanced and there are fruits, vegetables, meat and eggs. This shows that when most people have the ability to contribute, they feel proud. This pride is selfish, but to society it is selfless. So we should take more money from the rich. Zhang Xiaobao said a lot of principles which confused Wang Wan. She thought carefully and said, "Let's do this first. If there is no good way, then we can use pure capitalism, the law of the jungle, and the law of the jungle. Anyway, it can't be communism." "See, you admit it too," Zhang Xiaobao suddenly said. "What did I admit? I'm just saying. Maybe we don't have enough thinking now. When we have enough in the future, our thinking will be different." Wang Wan exerted strength in her hand. "Aya, are you trying to squeeze me to death?" "Yes, I admit that our thinking isn't enough. Not to mention now, even in 1,000 years, it won't be enough. Xiaobei is here. Xiaobei, come and help your brother rub his legs." As Zhang Xiaobao spoke, he turned his head and saw his sister coming. The other 8 people followed, and their expressions didn't look good. Xiaobei held a newspaper in her hand and pouted. She came in front of her brother and helped him rub his legs. Then she said, "Brother, sister, we have to go on a long trip." "Okay, we can go out and play. Where do you want to go? How long will it take? I have to prepare the things you want to learn. You can't just play and delay your studies." Zhang Xiaobao didn't even think about it before agreeing. "Let's go to Hongnong first." The business in Old Willow Village was unexpectedly dealt with by the officials outside. They let our brothers and sisters in charge there send gifts to them. We didn't do anything illegal. The telegram just arrived. We have to go there and take a look. If it's our fault, we will accept the punishment. If it's not our fault, I won't be able to deal with them. It's not the officials of Hunan Province in Hongnong. It's Jiangnan Province in West Province. Yuanzhou is there, and Yuanzhou is there, Xiaobei said angrily while waving the telegram in her hand. Chapter 988. Zhang Xiaobao reached out, took the telegram, and read it carefully. It said, "Sister Xiaobei, I'm Lu Feifei from Old Willow Village. We made a lot of dolls. After my brother finished the reconstruction of Hongnong, he came back with the dolls to sell elsewhere. He saw where they needed a large number of dolls, so that we could develop the company. My brother didn't come back during the new year. He went to Jiangzhou. There is a big lake in Jiangzhou. I know about it. My brother also sent a telegram saying that he found a businessman there who was willing to cooperate with us to sell dolls. But as soon as my brother made the deal, he was caught by the government. They said that my brother made charms to harm Tang. They asked my brother who ordered him, but my brother didn't say you. Later, the government asked us to give them a share of the money for every doll we sold. They sent the telegram to the county. My brother didn't agree, so he was locked up. I didn't want to trouble you, but I really had no choice. You helped me. They are all officials, and your position is very high. You asked them to release my brother. I asked a roast duck seller in Sanshui County to help me send the telegram. My father took me to the county. I saw it. The county is more beautiful than before. Remember to send the telegram. It was the government office in Jiangzhou's Dukang County who caught my brother." After reading it, Zhang Xiaobao understood that either Lu Feifei's brother was tricked by the businessman, or the local government wanted to share the benefits directly because the business would be big in the future if the businessman cooperated with them. As for why the telegram was so long, it was naturally because the people in the roast duck shop helped to send another message, the intelligence system of Zhang family and Wang family. Otherwise, it would cost a lot of money to write so many words. Your Old Willow Village doll group has been investigated. Are you going to send a telegram? Zhang Xiaobao handed the paper to Wang Wan and asked his brother and sister. Xiaobei shook his head. No, we've discussed it. We'll directly send a message to our local intelligence organization and ask them to protect Sister Lu's brother. We'll go personally. We have to find out who's behind this. How dare they ruin my business? Are they still lawless? Xiaobei was very angry. Wang Wan laughed. I guess they didn't mention your name. Otherwise, it wouldn't be easy for the Tang Empire to find an official with the guts to investigate your transactions. Wouldn't it be better for you to send a telegram to ask? You can't investigate others without reason. Let's go and come back quickly. At that time, you and Big Brother can finish the martial arts examination with them and go to the place where the Tujua used to be. We also want to go to Hongnong to see the current site of the amusement park. We can bring Xiao Yuan's mother and my mother and treat it as a trip, Xiaobei explained. The other 8 nodded. It seemed that they had already discussed this matter. Wang Wan neither agreed nor disagreed. She looked at Zhang Xiaobao. Zhang Xiaobao looked up at the sky. After thinking for a while, he said, "That's fine. Let's take our mother out for a walk. I'll prepare things for you to learn, so that our mother can accompany you to learn. My request is to kill as few people as possible. Don't kill if you can. Capture them and hand them over to the Ministry of Justice. Send back news every morning, noon, and night. Listen to the person in charge of the team. Don't fall sick because of the cold." Oh, okay. We'll remember all of it. Ha. Xiaobei jumped up happily. They could go out to play again. The other 8 were also very excited. The 9 children rushed back to the manor together to make preparations. They had spent a lot of manpower and resources on this trip. Just the supply team that followed behind them was huge. Not to mention the various weapons that were carried by the people who were supposed to protect them. Seeing her brothers and sisters walk away, Wang Wan helplessly shook her head. Xiaobao, you should just spoil them. Look at how wild they have become. What do you mean by spoiling them? If they want to go out to play, then let them. It's not like they won't come back. There's no need to worry about their safety on the road. Without our personal guidance, their learning will be delayed. But when they go out, they can walk around more, see more, and broaden their horizons. A lot of life's insights can't be learned from books. I don't expect them to be full of wisdom. Besides, we're going to participate in the military examination with them. Where would we find the time to teach them? Speaking of the military examination, we don't know how long it will take. Using cold weapons to fight hot weapons, even if they're hard, will take a lot of energy. With the time ratio of 1 to 4, do you think they'll finish in a month? Zhang Xiaobao might have been used to wandering around when he was young, so he didn't dislike his younger siblings going out under protection. In fact, he supported it. Wang Wan thought about Zhang Xiaobao's words and said, how long they can fight will depend on their ability. I don't necessarily need to annihilate them all. Even if my 100,000 people all die and I destroy their 80,000 people, they can't say they've won. But I reckon that we won't be able to play tomorrow. We'll have to wait for another 2 days. Who asked you to score so many goals today? If I say 30 goals, you'll score 29 goals. If I say 100 goals, will you score 99 goals? That'll have to be basketball. Football won't do. There's not enough time, and the field is big. I can't run over. Zhang Xiaobao had a serious expression as he argued with Wang Wan about why he couldn't score 99 goals in football. Things were just as Wang Wan thought. The generals left, leaving Zhao Hanzhong to enjoy a massage. When Wang Wan came to Zhao Hanzhong's side and told him about the military examination tomorrow, Zhao Hanzhong shook his head vigorously. I'm too tired today. I need to rest. Otherwise, I won't be able to keep up. Tomorrow. The other generals aren't tired either. Why not? Wang Wan asked even though she already knew the answer. It's tiring to watch the competition. Besides, I'm part of them. If there's one less link, we'll lose a war. Am I not important? Am I dispensable? Zhao Hanzhong pretended to be angry, but he grimaced from the pinch. In his heart he was cursing. You two are too unreasonable. You dragged us out for so long. Just as we were about to start the military examination, you made a football match. I wanted to win a match to raise morale, but in the end, we lost by a large margin. Right now, not only did their morale not improve, their condition was even worse. According to the current situation, if they were to fight against you in the sand table, they would probably lose first. Only a fool would agree to your proposal to carry out the military selection tomorrow. Fine, then you can set a time. You can't make us wait too long and delay our other things. As a general, you must have the courage to be decisive. If you keep avoiding the battle, you'll definitely lose. You can't do that. Wang Wan said in a teaching tone. Zhao Hanzhong was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Who avoided the battle at the beginning? You made us so tired. Now that you're in good condition, you have to compete? What kind of logic is this? He thought in his heart, but he said, 3 days, at most 3 days. When my body is not sore anymore, the military examination will start. Fine, then I'll give you 3 days to prepare. At the same time, you can pass on a message to the generals. That is, fighting a war is like playing football. You have to think about your own shortcomings. Don't think that you're fully prepared, only to find that the opponent has a more powerful formation on the field. You must remember this. After Wang Wan finished speaking, she flew away like a butterfly. Zhao Hanzhong sat there and enjoyed the various tastes of the massage. He gritted his teeth and squeezed out a sentence. You guys are too immoral. Didn't you just want us to hesitate when making decisions? Didn't you just lose 29 goals? Don't tell me you want us to keep thinking about football in the sand table game? Sir Zhao, you're right. Don't be affected. 29 goals is really not a lot. A match is 90 minutes, not even a third of the time. The doctor who massaged Zhao Hanzhong advised. Fine, don't hurt me. I've thought about it just now. I know how to arrange a formation. Zhang Xiaobao was merciful. They were originally 4-5-1, and the midfield and backfield were very strong. I was worried that the midfield couldn't withstand the impact. Later, when Zhang Xiaobao came on, it became 4-4-2, which showed that he had the confidence to defend the midfield. But we also changed. If he also went forward, then they would have 3 forwards. I can guess that he didn't do that. Otherwise, it would have been 4-3-3. With our defense, not to mention 29 goals, he could have scored 39 goals. Didn't you see his last attack? How many people did we send to stop him? In the end, he still got the ball into our goal. What if he did that the moment he came on? It's all my fault. Why should I believe what the generals discussed? I should have found Zhang Xiaobao and let him play. I should have known that he could play. Tell me, where did we lose? Zhao Hanzhong's analysis was not wrong. Zhang Xiaobao was indeed being lenient. He did not turn into a forward to cause trouble every time. However, there was one thing that he did not consider. If Zhang Xiaobao really wanted to score more goals, he would not have played in a 4-3-3 formation, but 3-5-2 formation. But Zhang Xiaobao usually would not do that. First, it was easy to lose the ball. The training time was too short, even though the players were very hardworking. Second, the formation was changed too many times, and it was easy for people to learn. There was a lot of knowledge in this football formation. If you could keep some secrets, then keep some secrets. The doctor in charge of the massage was very talkative. He said to Zhao Hanzhong, "If you ask me, we mainly lost in 4 aspects." "Oh, which 4? Zhao Hanzhong was interested. "The first is that the offense is not good enough. The second is that the defense is not good enough. The third is that the organization is not good enough. The fourth is that the individual skills are not good enough." The doctor quickly said the 4 aspects. You just have to say that there is no good place. There is no need to say 1-2-3-4. Zhao Hanzhong also mocked the doctor at the same time. For example, you did not massage well. I will not say 1-2-3-4. I will just say that your skills are not good. Oh, I found that you are good. Gentler. It's so sour. Master Zhao, it's not that I want to take revenge on you. I don't think that way. It's just that the muscles next to your thighs are trembling so much. Feel it yourself. It's like strands. You haven't relaxed yet. The doctor quickly explained. Coincidentally, he rubbed that place. He asked with concern, "Master Zhao, have you thought about how to win the military examination? Let me tell you, the young master and young lady are actually afraid that you will compete tomorrow. I believe your first explanation. As for the second, you are definitely on the same side as them. Tomorrow, do you think we are afraid of tomorrow? I am not afraid. I just don't know the sky." Zhao Hanzhong felt that he was very manly. You're tuning into the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.